All right, guys. Hello, everybody. We're doing a little something different this week. I'm taking a break from running the game this week. My brain is not in a place to run the game this week. What we're going to be doing at some point after the Star Wars campaign finishes up. I'm probably going to be doing a Star Trek Adventures RPG campaign. It's a new system that just came out this summer, summer of 2017. I've read through the rules mostly. I really like a lot of them. And I've watched some of the playtest games on YouTube and to get a feel for how the game actually works. I think it's neat. I want to try running it. And I like Star Trek a lot.
Peter,
yeah.
Peter, you can't be revealing these deep, dark secrets about yourself on air like this, man. You know,
You're right. You're right. The fact that I'm a Star Trek fan is a deep, dark secret that nobody knows.
It is. Holy shit, man! I had no idea. You deviant, you.
It changes my expectations of you, and I'm sure a word is absolutely crushed. I mean, just listen to that. A lack of a response there.
Yeah. But anyways.
Stunned I am.
Stunned, yeah.
Stunned
Shocked.
You have set phasers and stunned me.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go, yes.
So at any rate, what we're going to be doing is I'm going to talk a little bit about the basic rules, and then I'm going to... We're going to go through some character gen for various people who are interested in doing it in here. If you're watching us live, I dropped a link into the chat with a Google Doc version of the character sheet that I made up. Feel free to make yourself a copy of it, and if you want to make a character as you go along, feel free to ask me stuff like make responses to the chat, and I'll fill in info there as I go. Or if you happen to have a copy of the rules, you know.
Yeah.
It's the piracy police.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
sorry about that. That's the.
I paid for my copy of the rules.
Listen. I'm in Toledo. You know the.
Yeah.
And also, I'm in a house that's near a street, so my apologies for background noise.
That's fine. All right. I'm gonna do a quick switch here. There we go. So we have stuff up on the scene. At any rate, so the basic mechanics of the game. If you look at the character sheet, you'll notice that there's two little boxes: attributes and disciplines. These are your stats and skills, unsurprisingly. The disciplines are... Each of the disciplines is fairly broad, and so not too surprising. So, you know, the fact there are only 6 of them is not as limiting as you might think it would be.
Right, because there's interactions and applications of them that make them a bit more varied.
Well, yeah, also, a lot of the skills will operate differently depending on... So, anyways, when you're given a task check to complete by the Game Master, when you say, I want to do X, the Game Master says, okay, you'll give me a roll, and it'll be one of the attributes plus one of the disciplines. And that will determine what you're trying to roll. Therefore, you know, like, there's a difference between, say, a reason science roll and a daring science roll. Daring science would be a little weird, but
like for example, reason science might be trying to negotiate perhaps with someone using understanding of
reason would be more along the lines of trying to figure something out. Presence is more the interaction one.
Trying to deduce something about a creature, and fitness science would be knowing where to punch something to make it hurt the most.
So, if I understand this right, the difference between reason science and daring science is how ridiculous the technobabble used to explain it is.
Possibly.
Well, I mean, they both have ridiculous technobabble. It's just that, you know, is the ship exploding right now? No. Probably use reason. Yes. Maybe use daring.
At any rate, so the next thing is that the players then roll. Their base roll at this point is you roll 2 die 20, and it's not you're adding them together. You're trying to roll equal to or less than the sum of the stat, and the attribute, and the discipline. And if you succeed on one of the die 20s, you get a success. Each d20 that you make that roll grants you a success. And the difficulty of the skill check is the number of successes you need to get. The difficulty will range from 0 to 5. Now, you might be asking, how can you get 5 successes when you're rolling only 2 die 20?
Yeah.
Well, there are a couple of things. One, if you roll a 1 on your d20, it is a critical success, and that counts as 2 successes. Also, the players will accumulate over the course of the adventure what is sort of a plot currency called momentum. And I'll explain how you generate that in a minute. And you can spend momentum for extra dice. Additionally, instead, you can spend threat for extra dice. Well, you can give the GM threat.
So threat meaning that you make the situation higher stakes for you?
Kinda.
Or...
What you're doing, the GM has a threat pool, which is like the player's momentum pool, but for the game master.
Got it.
It's basically hero and villain points when you kind of get down
Right.
to it.
Basically, yes.
Right, you're basically saying, I'm going to give you something to use later on against me, so I can do this now.
Right. So the basic way you generate momentum for the players is when you make a skill check and you succeed and you get more successes than you need. For every point of success you get above the difficulty, you gain a point of momentum. And it goes, and you can use it immediately for some stuff, or it can end up in if you don't use it for that particular task, and there are ways you can do that. It then goes into a pool for all the players. It's pretty straightforward, and the momentum pool will go, will flow back and forth over the course of the game. So yes, that's the basic task resolution mechanic. It's pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward, and it's kind of neat, actually. Additionally, if you roll a 20 on the D20 on one of your D20s, this generates a complication, which is in some way that you might succeed, but something bad happened also. Now, you can get rid of a complication by giving the GM threat. You might be able to pay momentum. I don't remember. I'd have to look that up, but I'm not going to do that right now. But I remember definitely you can give the GM threat to get rid of a complication. Additionally, if you fail in your die roll, you may decide you may declare that you want to succeed on the die roll at cost, which means you get a base success, but there's a complication. So this is for the normal sort of general task checks. There are a couple other. There are also what are called extended tasks, which you basically have to make multiple rolls that build up points of what are called work. I'll explain that later. And combat works a little bit differently also. But yeah, so I think I will go over the stats a little bit here. All right. So one other important note. There are a few types of characters in the game. There are the player characters have access to, or have the main characters, which is all of your personal main player character. There are also supporting characters, which are like main characters in many ways, except in that they're controlled by the players. However, there's no fixed list of supporting characters. Rather, they're created as and when you need them to provide aid and assistance in different situations, or to allow players to take part in the scene if their main character is busy elsewhere.
I really like this idea, especially since one person being alone happens way too much in the Wednesday game I'm in. Oh boy, 5 different people in completely different directions. Time to just, I can't play anything. I'm recording this. Right.
So, for instance, you're on your ship, the away team beams down, and that doesn't include some of the characters. For instance, the captain stays in the ship because,
you're the captain. Yeah.
You're not James T.
I'm
Kirk.
cracking this up.
Yeah.
If you're James T. Kirk, then you go down, but then Scotty stays behind.
I'm going to step away for a little bit.
No problem.
So I'll try to be back, but I'll try to be back. Yeah.
I didn't join Starfleet to not have sex with green women and go on dangerous planets and get my subordinates killed.
But yeah. Additionally, interestingly, your ship actually has a character sheet also, and is effectively sort of like is effectively like an NPC that's a supporting NPC. No one actually plays it, but it has stats and skills to assist you on tasks when you're on ship and other stuff. Also, it's a Starfleet starship, so the rules as stand support playing a Starfleet campaign. I suspect they will eventually release books for, like, I want to play a Klingon campaign. I want to do a Romulan campaign. For some reason, I want to do a Cardassian campaign.
Cardassians actually have a fair amount of, like, a fairly vocal fan base out there.
I'm joking.
I want to do
I'm being a little
campaign.
Yeah, I'm being a little facetious. But anyway, so I'm going to go over the attributes and the skills now. So the first stat is control. This is about the character controlling themselves, and it covers precision, accuracy, careful timing. It can rely on self-discipline and control of one's emotions to ensure mechanical precision, or it can be a mixture of motor skills, coordination, familiarity with activity, etc. There are a bunch of different ways it can be used. They've got some samples here, but I'm not going to go over all the sample things. The next stat is daring. Daring comes into play when a character reacts to a new situation without doubt, hesitation, or caution. It covers circumstances where the characters take decisive action without a detailed plan or analysis, and rely on gut instinct and quick reflexes instead. Fitness should be sort of self-explanatory. It's how fit you are, Yeah. Insight is about understanding people and their feelings and being open to different ideas and ways of thinking. Covers self-awareness, being conscious of a creature's current state of mind and hard-earned wisdom, etc. So yeah. Presence is power of personality, ability to command attention and respect. It's used for being diplomatic during negotiations, giving orders during crisis, even being charming and seductive. And the last stat is reason. This reason is about logic and meticulous analysis. It covers forming hypotheses and intricate planning, as well as intricate facts, etc. That sort of thing. Then we move on to the disciplines. Command covers a wide range of interpersonal interactions, especially leadership, negotiation, and both coordinating and motivating others. It also includes discipline and resisting coercion, as well as helping others resist fear and panic. There is con, which is a character's ability at con covers piloting a craft of all sizes, from ground vehicles and shuttles to grand starships. It also includes navigation, an understanding of starship operations, including procedures and cultures, space travel, and exploration. It covers a bunch of stuff. Engineering covers inventing, understanding, designing, repairing, and maintaining technology, as well as using any technology not specifically covered by another discipline. Security is the use of force during combat, making attacks essentially, as well as observing and analyzing threatening situations and watching for potential perils. It also encompasses interrogation and intimidation, stealth and infiltration, as well as an in-depth knowledge of weaponry, combat system styles, and strategy. It also covers survival skills and athleticism. Science is, science. But it doesn't just cover hard sciences like physics and chemistry and biology, etc. It also covers social sciences like anthropology, psychology, etc.
And witchcraft, like economics.
Indeed.
It's totally witchcraft.
Yeah. Medicine is understanding of physical... psychology is covered by medicine. My bad. Medicine is the understanding of the physical and mental makeup of life forms, including knowledge of ailments and diseases that might befall them, the injuries and stresses they can suffer, and the methods for treating those maladies in a wide range of species. We have now covered all the stats and skills of the game. The last important thing that sort of affects skills are what are called focuses. Focuses are basically areas of expertise. If you're making a task check and one of your focuses, it falls in the realm of one of your focuses, you get an increased crit range, basically, on your skill check. So, let's see if I can remember the exact number. If I remember correctly, the way it works is it increases the threat range to whatever your the value and the discipline that of the task check you're making. So if you were making a science check and it fell into one of your focuses, you would get a critical effect on a, and your science was a 4. You get a critical effect on a 4 or less, I believe. It might be adding to the 1. I don't know. I'll have to look for that specifically. The last 2 things I need to talk about are talents. Talents are basically, they're kind of like feats in D&D. They're special things that modify how your skills and such work for the most part. And the last thing I need to talk about are values. These are sort of things that describe your character's, well, values, the core tenets of your character's personality and who your character is. Values, the main thing values let you do is spend determination, in effect using your determination. All characters start with 1 point of determination at the beginning of each adventure. You can spend it at 1 point as long as you can spend it at some point as long as the situation you're spending it for involves one of your values. And there are a couple of different ways you can do that. I'm not going to go into that right now, but the important bit is the most basic way of doing that is you can spend a determination, invoke one of your values, and get a free D20 that automatically crits on that check.
+2.
2 free successes, but it counts as one of the dice you're buying, which matters. Because the first die you buy costs 1 momentum or threat. The second die you buy costs 2 momentum or threat, and the third one costs 3. You cannot buy more than 5 dice. You cannot buy yourself up to. You cannot roll more. You cannot have more than 5 dice on a check.
Does it take like a proprietary stance of if you invoke determination, then it has to be done at the front of the order?
It is the first die. It counts as the first die. Yes.
Okay. I figured that would be the case. I also figured that'd be something that a lot of people would try to rules lawyer, so I wanted to check.
No, they're very clear about that.
All right.
Zenith, it could be in the original series or next gen. Or technically, you can run this in Enterprise era if you want to.
If you want to, he says with such disdain.
Well, if you want to have jumpsuits instead of a uniform.
So early, TNG?
At any rate, we're now sort of at the point where we get to actually we're at the point where we can make characters basically. All right, the basic way you make characters, the default way to build characters in the system they have is using using a life path system, where there are several steps where you choose little elements about your character, and they give you various stat bonuses, skill bonuses, and other stuff.
It's central casting.
Basically, and you can just freeform it if you want. You basically because there are. Basically, at the end of the life path, you'll have certain total values in your attributes, your disciplines. You'll have a certain number of values, talents, and focuses. And you can easily do that, freeform that without having to do any actual, sit down and write, go through the life path. I think the life path is a more interesting way to do it.
It certainly is a way to lend an inspiration if you're not coming into this with an idea that you want to put forth in the first place.
Additionally, there are a bunch of tables that you can roll on for this if you want to. So you can actually
just not certain.
You can make a character very quickly just by rolling some dice, which is fine. But they point out this is an option. You don't have to roll them. You can just pick the ones you want.
We are not central casting. We've seen the mistakes.
Yes. Lastly, the base rules cover 8 Federation races, and at the back of the book there are a bunch of non-Federation species that are in there mostly for antagonist reasons. And they've got little blurbs and little sections in there for their stats and such that you could their stat mods, so that you could actually play for instance, if you want to play a Klingon, you could play a Klingon. They actually have it in there. The
Yay.
one thing Klingons don't have is race-specific traits. Not traits, talents. That said, you could easily just there are several of the race-specific talents which feel fairly Klingon-y that I'd probably say, yeah, you could probably have that. And several of them are basically you must be either Trill or the GM's permission to take this. You must be Bajoran or have the GM's permission to take this, etc.
I'm adopted.
That's actually an option in character generation.
I figure that's the way you're going to get, an alien race trait if it's more of a cultural thing as
Right.
opposed to a physiological thing.
Well,
Right.
yeah, there are a couple of them. Like one of the
You're not going to have Vulcan strength as a human. No.
That's not a talent you can take. Period.
That's what
baked,
cybernetics are for.
That's baked into being a Vulcan. The Vulcan trait is part of the Vulcan trait is you are stronger than most other species out there. There are a couple that are on par with the Vulcans in terms of physical strength, like the Klingons, probably the Gorn. Definitely the Gorn.
Definitely the Gorn. The Gorn are probably the physically strongest race in
yeah.
the galaxy.
Jem'Hadar probably. Maybe the Nausicaans.
Maybe the Nausicaans.
But again, strength is not an actual stat in this game.
Right. Probably largely because of Starfleet's generation of the martial art that allows humans to stand toe-to-toe with shit that's way stronger than them.
Yes.
Yep.
So at any rate, as I said, I will relink this in the chat. I made a copy. I made a Google Doc character sheet. If you want to make use of it, feel free. But do go to the File tab and go down to make a copy for yourself. I've got it actually. I think I've got it set up so you can't actually edit. No one but me can edit the one I'm linking. So you have to make a copy if you want to do it, because I want to save a blank character sheet.
I'm in view only mode and I can't put bacon into the name.
Right, but you can go to make a copy and make yourself a copy.
Yep.
Okay, an important note, if you look here at the character sheet, there are when you make a character, all your attributes start at 7 and all your disciplines start at 1.
All right.
Can you take ranks in that bow staff combat
suit? Up letting you feel really lucky.
In that staff combat suit the Riker's dad do, you could take Okay. An important note, hand-to-hand combat is covered by daring plus security, and you could take a focus for whatever the name of that martial art is. I forget what it is. I could look it up. I'm not going to right now.
We can worry about that when we get there.
Exactly. At any rate, so the first thing you do in making a character is pick what species you are. If I'm going to run a campaign, it'll probably be next-gen-ish era at some point, so... the options in the book that are available at the moment are Andorian, Bajoran, Betazoid, Denobulan, Humans, Tellarite, Trill, and Vulcan.
Hooray for being alphabetically first.
Yes. So we will go through this. I'm going to be making a character while we're doing this also, so that people who are watching this can see me doing something as opposed to just sort of seeing her staring at a blank character sheet. I am going to make, I don't know. Actually, hang on. Let me get it. I'm actually probably going to roll this up because, well, fuck it. I'm going to pick something. The Kaitan are not in the book, Mario Supersonic. Doesn't mean that they're not actually... You can make your own species if you really want to, but they don't have a write-up for them in the book right now. They might add them in one of the future supplements. There are planned supplements for all 4 of the quadrants of the galaxy, and there are planned supplements for all 3 of the career paths also. So I suspect that in one of those books there'll be more species available. They included 8 for the 8 most common ones that you see in Trek. Anyways, so I'm going to Word. What species are you going to pick?
Andorian.
I figured,
of course.
Eric, what are you going to pick?
I think we'll go with Klingon this time.
Okay, I'll have to scroll to Klingon in a minute then to give you your numbers. I'm going to make a sample character just for funsies.
Oh, right. I need to make a copy.
Yep.
Like
I'll make a Vulcan.
Also unsurprising.
I like the first sample character I made this when I was fiddling with the character gen system was a human because
Right.
Second one I did was a Klingon actually. All right, so let me just fill the character sheet in somewhat here. Oh, for crying out loud! One of the fields is not tabbing correctly. Okay, so yes, all your attributes start at 7. All right.
Peter, I cannot edit the new blank character sheet I have.
You go to share. You should be able to click on the share button. See if it lets you fiddle with stuff. If you can't, let me give me one moment. Is there a share button on the upper right of the screen? Should be blue.
Yeah.
Click on it.
Copy link sharing, send to people.
Should be able to like drop it and change it to like can edit or what have you. Does it let you change any of the settings?
Nope.
Okay. Then give me a second here. Try making a new copy.
It seems to want to have a spreadsheet to copy onto in that event. I was trying to noodle that myself.
Well, try making a new copy. You should be able to now. I had to set it to let people edit it, so. Mario Supersonic, I don't know, and I've not watched enough of Discovery to have an opinion.
Okay, new spreadsheet, copy to. Does the thing see that? Oh, confound it.
So when you go to the file tab and click on Make a Copy, what do you get on the screen?
It brings up my
Make
Google
a copy.
Drive.
Folder to my drive.
Yeah, it wants you to have like a spreadsheet in your own Google Drive to copy it to. Is the way I'm taking this.
You should just be able to fill in a name and click on OK.
That's a search bar apparently.
What? This has worked before. I know this.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. Oops. Oh well.
I know Make a Copy has worked before.
I will just make a new one and then go back.
All right, Eric. I have no idea. This is not working as well as it's supposed to. This worked. I know that doing this has worked before.
Okay. Star Trek Adventures character. Okay, Google Sheets has saved it. So if I do this, it should be on here. There it is.
Okay, you got it?
Go to that. Select. This is for copying worksheet. And if I refresh, copy of sheet 1. Okay.
Weird. At any rate, Eric, do you have a sheet?
No. I hate
Okay.
machine. I hate
What?
all machines. I will destroy them all.
Okay, Eric.
So I'll make an engineer.
Okay, well, no, Eric. What I want you to do is click on the green button. labeled Sheets Home. And start a new spreadsheet. Click on the blank one, basically.
Yeah, the blank thing with a plus in the middle.
Yep.
Okay.
Go up into the top left and name the thing. You can put bacon for all it matters. Just put something in there and then press enter. It'll save it and it'll exist. Then you can go back and copy the other thingy.
I want to check something here.
Mecca, for the record, I'm just going to link mine for a quick reference.
All right. What I tried didn't work. Okay, whatever. Let me take a look at your link thing. I don't have permission.
Yeah, I just fixed that.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it looks mostly. Yeah, it looks right. It's the same thing. So yeah.
Yeah.
Weird.
Also, you're an anonymous platypus.
Apparently. All right. So. All right. So what you did what you did is you made the blank sheet. You went to File, make a copy.
What I did was I made the blank sheet, went back to the base sheet that you have. Then at the very bottom, there's the the actual sheet tabs, and I selected copy to, and then it brought up all the Google spreadsheets that exist on my Google account, and I selected the new one.
Okay. Did you hear Did you hear that, Eric?
I'm sorry, what?
Okay. Did you make a blank sheet? There's a completely blank spreadsheet.
Yes.
Okay. Go back to click on the link again for the blank character sheet in Discord.
Yep.
Open that up.
Yep.
Go down. Look at the bottom of the screen where it
window.
says Sheet 1.
What the hell?
I don't know.
There we go.
All right. So click down on Sheet 1. Right click on it.
Hold on. This is being very annoying here.
Okay.
You said sheet 1. Where is sheet 1?
At the
It's
bottom
at
of
the
the
very
window.
bottom left of the screen. It's a little tab thing under
Yep.
the horizontal scroll bar.
Okay.
Right click on that. Go to Copy To. Click on that and copy it to the the blank sheet you just made. That should work. Please say that works.
Finally. Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
I don't know why the duplicate's not working. I've used that before.
Same. I don't know what's going on. I am not sure. Mario Supersonic. I will get to that at some point.
But,
right now we're just sort of
yeah.
doing character generation.
So when you go back to your formerly blank thing, it'll still have the empty original sheet, and it'll as one tab, and it will have copy of sheet 1 as the other tab. You can get rid of the actually blank one and have the copy be the only thing that exists.
Okay.
all right. So you should be able to do stuff with your character sheet.
Yes,
now.
I've just entered Klingon into species.
Excellent. And your base attributes are all 7. Your base disciplines are all 1 for the moment.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So word, you chose Andorian.
Yep.
All right. Attributes. You add +1 to daring, control, and presence.
Okay.
In trait, note down that you are Andorian there also. You have the Andorian trait. This trait may reduce the difficulty of tasks to resist extreme cold or tasks impacted by extremely low temperature. Your antenna aid in balance and spatial awareness. Lost antenna can be debilitating until it regrows. This is basically, it's something that you have the racial traits of being Andorian.
Right.
You have high metabolism, meaning amongst other things, you tire more quickly than humans. It also makes you more vulnerable to infection from certain types of infection from certain types of injury.
All right.
Also, you've got that whole sort of cultural sort of thing with Vulcans from way back when.
Yeah. And there's also the fact that the two are fundamentally at odds, one being very emotionally charged and the other being emotionally defunct.
All right, so there are two traits that are available to Andorians specifically. One of them is proud and honorable. Your personal integrity is unimpeachable, and you will not willingly break a promise made. Whenever you attempt a task to resist being coerced into breaking a promise, betraying your allies, or otherwise acting dishonorably, you reduce the difficulty by 1. The other one is the Ushan. Your experience and tradition of honor dueling known as the Ushan, having spilt much blood upon the ice. When you make a melee attack or are targeted by a melee attack and buy 1 or more d20s by adding to threat, you may reroll the dice pool for the task. Further, you own an Ushan Tor, a razor-sharp ice miner's tool used for these duels.
I've never actually seen what that looks like.
I haven't either.
Isn't that? I think that's like the little dueling knife thing.
And they list the stats for the weapon if you take the trait.
Don't quite know how weapon stats work, so and I like the other one more. So what was that one called?
Proud and honorable.
Proud and honorable.
Yes. I very likely would allow Klingons to take that also for what I like to call obvious fucking reasons.
Yeah, no shit.
All right, let me scroll. Oh, hang on, I don't have to scroll there. I just remember the page number. No, that wasn't it. That's in here somewhere, I think.
I mean, there's the Tellarite we made the other day too.
Yes. All right, Klingon characters.
Well, I would probably actually play.
Yep. All right, Klingon characters. You have the Klingon trait.
Yep.
Your Klingon physiology is hardy with many redundant internal organs, allowing them to withstand harm in a number of poisons, which would normally be deadly for many other species. They are significantly stronger and more resilient than humans, though they have less tolerance for the cold.
Has the
So
arsenic.
the exact opposite.
As a random aside word, dear God, Andorians hate Vulcan. Not the people necessarily, but the fucking planet.
Yeah.
Because it's a fucking desert. And the other type of desert. Klingons get +1 to daring, fitness, and presence.
I'm shocked by these revelations.
Yes. If you want to take proud and honorable, you may do so.
There was the Tellarite trait that I remember from last time.
That was the other one I was thinking
That
about
is also a good Klingon one.
Yes, sturdy.
Yeah.
Which is technically not Tellarite or Game Master's permission, but fuck it, for a Klingon, I'm willing to make a. I'm willing to say that yeah, probably Klingons can have that also. Would you like that instead of proud and honorable?
Yeah, if only because I need to be different from Word.
Okay.
For the record,
all right.
What does that do mechanically?
What's sturdy?
Yes.
I was about to read it. You blend
Excellent.
physical resilience and mental fortitude such that you're difficult to subdue. You reduce the cost of being knocked prone by the knockdown damage effect by 1 to a minimum of 0, and gain +1 resistance against all non-lethal attacks. Basically, you reduce any damage from a non-lethal attack by 1.
Neat.
Yeah.
Is tough.
Yeah, and that is a trait available to Tellarites normally. Again, I
didn't take it, but yeah.
Normally, I suspect that Klingons will get something similar.
Yeah.
All right. And then, so you got your racial trait. You don't have to spend your trait on one of the species traits, but all right, I'm going to. If you didn't like either of those, I would say just note down that you've got a trait sorry, not a trait. These are talents. Sorry. All right. So the Vulcans get +1 to control, fitness, and reason. I'm sure you are all completely shocked by this.
I am.
All right. The Vulcan trait. Due to the harsh, arid, high-gravity world they come from, Vulcans are naturally resilient to extreme heat and dehydration. They're also extremely strong with keen auditory and olfactory senses. They're also telepathic to a certain degree, though this takes training to properly manifest, and they learn mental discipline and emotional control from childhood. However, this control takes regular meditation to maintain, and their controlled nature and desire for privacy can distance them from others and make interactions awkward. Because, Vulcan. All right. So
we're a people of warrior monks.
Basically, the Vulcan traits that are available, they actually have access to 3, which I forgot one of them. Which one of them I shouldn't have forgotten. First off is Kolinar. That is you've gone under the ritual journey to purge emotion. You reduce the difficulty of all tasks to resist coercion, mental intrusion, pain, and other mental attacks by 2. Because, Vulcan. That is the one I'm taking right now. The other 2 are Mind Meld and Nerve Pinch. I might pick up Nerve Pinch with a later talent. Uh-huh. Doop. Oh, how did I misspell that? Version. And that is a. All right, there we go. We have now picked we have now all picked our species.
Hooray!
All right. Step 2: the environment you were born into. Basically, you're picking what type of planet you were born, what type of place you were born. Basically, there are 6 options. You might have been born on your species' homeworld. You might have been born on a busy colony, an isolated colony, a frontier colony, a starship or starbase, or another species world.
I'm going to go with Homeworld.
All right, so you're born in Cronus. Okay. We'll get to that in a second. I will read off what these mean in a second.
I'm going to assume that this is not a mechanical thing in and of itself, but it leads to other mechanical choices.
Yes, it does. Well, each one of these gives you gives you a +1 to a particular stat and +1 to a discipline, and you choose one of your values here.
What are the numbers between Homeworld and Frontier World, or Frontier Outpost, or whatever?
Or them being the exact opposite of one another.
I'm aware.
All right, so since I'll read off Homeworld since Eric chose Homeworld. All right, Eric, improve one of the 3 attributes your species improves natively. The ones you increase for choosing your species, increase one of those by 1.
Okay.
Increase, and then you can increase either command, security, or science by 1.
I think I'm going to just make a bit of a bruiser here, seeing as I made the Smarty Pants Tellarite last time.
Okay. So you're increasing security, I take it?
Yep, security and fitness.
Okay.
I
I will
that
get
sounds like something I want to go with as well. So I'll go with Homeworld also.
Okay, well, let me read out what Frontier gives you.
Sure.
Frontier gives you +1 to either control or fitness, and +1 to either con, security, or medicine.
Yeah, that's not quite what I'm going for. So yeah, I'll stick with Homeworld.
Okay. So +1 to one of the you get +1 to one of your stats that you get a bonus to for being Andorian, and +1 to command,
I'm
security,
going
or
with
science.
I'm going with control and command.
Okay.
You can probably guess where I'm angling at this point.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Just as the captain no longer.
Yeah. The other ones are, yes. Doop, 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 doo. All right. The next step. Oh, right. At this point, you also should choose a value. Choose a single value. This value should reflect the environment and culture the character was raised within. This is a good opportunity to consider how the character views their own culture and how they connect or possibly don't connect to the philosophies and traditions of their people.
So this is just insert a thing that seems appropriate.
That seems appropriate. That is a part of your character's personality. It's one of your character's values.
Conflict brings excellence.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense for a Klingon. All right, I gotta pick where I'm from.
You do that while I think about this.
That's fine. All right, I'm gonna choose one of the ones that they didn't pick. I'm gonna pick being from a busy colony. Also, you should note down in your environment what you're from. You should note in the little thing up in the personnel file, the thing at the top. Fill in Homeworld for you guys there. All right, that gives me +1 to daring or presence. I'm going to go with daring. And command, security, or science. Now, security is just generically useful. I mean, so is command, but all right. All right, now I gotta look at my values. I might come back to this later for this because I'm walking you guys through this and a little bit. I don't have. I'm not. Yeah.
I'm double checking Andorian culture stuff on Memory Alpha right now.
Right. Fair enough.
I figured the book would cite like examples for Andorians to choose from. I don't know if that's the case or not.
No, they don't have any examples or anything like that in here right now. There are some like they've got some generic examples for values for like Homeworld values.
Right. I
Yes.
remember that. I remember like on. I don't know if it was a value or anything, but I do remember like the sample character sheet at the end of the quick start guide had the Andorian with proud daughter of Andor or something. I don't remember if that was a value or not though.
That would have been a value. Yep.
That would have been a value, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go with that then.
Okay.
Just because that makes a lot of sense.
Sure. I'm actually going to steal one from the example values because it is so Vulcan it's not funny. Emotion in a crisis only makes things worse.
Haha, we're gonna get along great.
I also the second character I made was a Klingon scientist. His starting value was integrity is honor.
Mm.
Which I kind of dug for a slightly different Klingon. He's a scientist, so he's a little bit off for a Klingon.
Right. Oh, I'm going so stereotypically Klingon.
Yeah, let me list off his values because they're kind of fun. Integrity is honor. Being a scientist is just as valid a path as being a warrior. The unspoken "God damn it" isn't written down, but you know. The next one is also not very Klingon, but again fits someone who's probably a scientist. Action without a plan is folly.
Mm.
And your shipmates are also your family. Is his last value. He's very good at what he does, and you know has done a bunch of stuff, which is the reason the Klingon Defense Force hasn't buried him somewhere. They've instead sent him off to a position of honor in an exchange program with the Federation.
Obviously.
He's very aware that this is their way of burying him without actually dishonoring him, because they can't. He's had too much. He's had success. It's like he's going to be a problem. Let's put him somewhere else. Yeah. At any rate, so next up is your upbringing.
Okay.
This will be a little tricky for you, Eric. You'll have to sort of fiddle with some. You might have to fiddle with. Well, you'll see. All right. So the upbringing, basically, you pick one of these upbringings, and then you will then choose whether you sort of zen with this particular upbringing, or you rebelled against it, and this will will change what stats you get bonuses to. Additionally, you will get some disciplines and a focus, but that is not affected by your whether you accepted or rejected the upbringing. So the options are Starfleet, which implying that your family may have a strong tradition of Starfleet service, etc. Perhaps both the parents' parents were Starfleet officers.
It could be like KDF for the
exactly.
Character.
That's basically what I picked for my guy. Except he rejected it because
right,
effectively because all right. But I'll read. Other ones are business or trade. So your family had business connections or what have you, trade connections. Agricultural, rural upbringing. Science and technology upbringing, or artistic and creative upbringing, or diplomacy and political upbringing.
Artistic and creative.
So you had artistic and creative Klingon parents.
Yep.
Okay. Did you accept this upbringing?
They ran an opera house.
Okay. Did you? I believe that's cool. Did you accept this upbringing or did you reject it?
I think he rejected it.
All right. Increase your daring by 1 and your fitness by 2.
Okay.
Exactly what you were looking for. Not digging those Telluride soap operas, then. Or maybe you are.
Klingon opera is boring!
Diplomacy and political, and embracing of it.
All right. Increase your control by 1 and your presence by 2.
All right.
Thank you for the subscription, Who's Studios. Appreciate that. All right. Ooh, and a follow, too. Oh, Who's Studios again. Cool. Thank you. All right. Diplomacy. So, okay. Additionally, Eric, you may add 1 point to either command, engineering, or science.
Command.
Okay. And you may now choose a focus for that sort of relates to your character, your preferred way of applying the skills that you picked up here. That you've picked up so far.
Inspiring or rallying.
Inspiration. There you go.
Yeah, inspiration.
All right. Word.
Mm-hmm.
Your discipline. You may add +1 to either command, con, or security.
I'm gonna have to go with command on that one.
And you also need to choose a focus that ties into that you could tie into something along these lines. Examples include I should list off some examples, but your inspiration works perfectly, Eric. So, examples include composure, debate, diplomacy, espionage, interrogation, law, philosophy, and Starfleet protocol. But you can pick whatever you want. It's not like a list of focus you pick from.
Right. I actually really like the philosophical angle, so I'm going to go with philosophy.
Okay, cool.
I kind of had like a notion in my head flit through my mind a moment ago, and philosophy keys right into that.
All right.
As I struggle to remember how the hell you spell philosophy.
Philosophy is...
It's OSO, right?
OSO, yes.
Okay, I'm good then.
There sure there's a Q in there somewhere.
And I'm gonna say my character had a Starfleet upbringing.
Someone needs to.
Yeah. All right. So and I'm going to say I accepted my upbringing. I'm a good little Vulcan. Control by 2 and fitness by 1. I think I know where I'm going with this character, actually. All right. Character's exposure to the ways and traditions of Starfleet allows them to increase any one discipline. Well, all right then. I'm raising con. I'm making a pilot.
Aha.
Uh-huh. And, all right, I got to pick a focus. Small craft, I think. Learned how to pilot shuttles when I was a kid. All right. We are now on to Starfleet Academy, or in Eric's case, whatever the Klingon
Academy.
is.
I think it's called Klingon Academy.
Yeah.
Human Academy.
Your options here are command track, operations track, or sciences track.
Well, when there's only one candidate, there's only one choice.
You're picking command, I take it.
Uh-huh.
Eric, you're taking operations, I take it? That's where
I think so, yeah.
That's where security is. I'm also taking command because that's where piloting is, I believe. Yep, okay. All right, you will get another value here, which should reflect some aspect of the character's beliefs that developed during your time at the Academy. But we can come back to that if you pick other stuff.
Okay.
I actually do have something for this.
Fill it in.
Right now. Patriotism without rationality is foolishness.
Okay, there we go. All right, word.
Mm-hmm.
You gain three attribute points that you can spread between either 2 or 3 attributes. You may pick those attributes freely.
So I can give 3 things 1, or 1 thing 1 and 1 thing 2.
Correct.
Okay.
Violence is always an answer, but not always the answer.
There you go.
That's so Eric. All right, I'm going to put 2 into insight and whoops, I don't have 2 insight. I'm putting 2 into insight. And I'm going to put 1 into reason.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
If I'm
Hello,
talking
Skitch.
about all this shit, I need to pass the sense motive checks.
I believe the same thing applies to you, Eric.
Hold on 1 minute.
All right, so now I'm on the Yeti, so it should sound different.
You do sound different, yes.
You do. You sound more regular.
I'm
Okay,
also
what was that? Or Peter?
You can add. You get 3 points to distribute amongst your attributes, Eric. Either 1 to 3 different ones, or 2 to 1 and 1 to another. I'm doing the same thing here.
I apologize for any creaking sounds. I'm in a old bed in a room that may or may not be possessed with, things. We'll just say things. So how far along are you all in character creation?
We are in step 4 of the life path. If you want to make a character also Skitch, I can backtrack.
I can try to go through as quickly as I can. Sure.
It's not that. It's not that.
It's not that hard at all.
Right.
Sure.
So you've got the blank sheet. You've got access to the blank sheet, and find a way to make yourself a copy.
Yeah, I already have mine. So.
Oh, you got yours copied? Excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
I took my control to 9 and my presence to 9.
Okay, let me scroll back to step 1, which is picking what species you are. So, Skitch, do you know much about the Star Trek species at all?
Marginally.
Okay. You'll recognize some of the names at least.
Yeah, I suspect so. Yeah.
All right. Your options are Andorian, Bajoran, Betazoid, Denoblian, Human, Tellarite, Trill, or Vulcan.
What are Eric and Wind so far?
Wind is making an Andorian, and Eric is making a Klingon because Eric is Eric.
I have to be different.
I mean, Eric...
Also, Mecha is throwing together a Vulcan just because.
Yeah, I'm doing so. I've got something going on screen.
Peter also walked me through this the other day, and I made a Tellarite engineer. So, Space Pig.
I mean, I might just start as human for the heck of it, just see how it goes.
Okay,
from there.
human's good.
All right. So,
all right.
What does human get, if anything?
Okay, so first off, note down that you're in your species that you are human.
Done.
In your trait section, you should also note down human, that you have the human trait.
Got it.
The traits don't really have any mechanical effect. It's just things keep no raw mechanical effect. It's the Anyways, yeah. All right.
A Vulcan can out-arm wrestle you.
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty good at arm wrestling myself, so I might be able to arm wrestle me. So.
All right. So, Skitch, you are human. Therefore, you get to add +1 to any 3 attributes. Pick 3 attributes, add +1 to each of them.
And only +1 total, right?
Correct.
So, right, you can't be like, oh, add +1 3 times to one attribute. No.
Wrong.
Because the maximum any attribute can be is 12.
Correct. If you do, you during character creation, you might exceed it. There'll be a chance. There'll be a chance to adjust it later. But
for the record, I'm heading towards captain as a concept. Eric is doing head of security, and the Vulcan that Mecha's making is pilot.
But this is not a character that would be in the game. It's just me making a.
So what would be a good character to complement those two?
We don't have anyone doing science yet.
Science, science
science
officer,
doctor,
any blue
engineer.
uniform we lack.
So like I'm thinking control, daring, and reason.
Okay, sure.
It was either going to be that or daring, fitness, reason.
Those are all your stats are useful in some point or not.
Sure. I'm trying to think if I want to go daring with the side emphasis on self-discipline and coordination, or with the emphasis on strength. It's like the punch scientist or the control scientist.
Yeah, I will say this: control is the stat that applies to shooting stuff. Daring is the stat that applies to punching shit.
Fitness, you mean?
No.
Daring.
Daring
applies
is
to punch.
daring is how you punch shit.
Fitness is hauling ass.
Fitness is how not to be hurt.
Interesting. So I'm
Yeah,
going to go with.
right now I'm over here being a glass cannon that talks well.
All right. So I'm going to go. Let's go with control, insight, reason.
Okay.
I like to shoot first, inspect questions after.
All right. You also get a talent at this point. You can either pick one off the talent list later, or you can pick. There are two that are human specific, basically.
Sure. What are they?
Your options are resolute. You're indomitable and unwilling to succumb to adversity. You increase your maximum stress by 3.
Okay.
The other option is spirit of discovery. You have the drive, spirit, and courage to voyage into the unknown. You may spend 1 determination to add 3 points to the group momentum pool. The normal conditions for spending momentum determination apply.
I like that one. What is that one called again?
Spirit of discovery.
That was good.
Is this the classic humans get an extra feat at Karagen kind of thing? Because I don't have a talent, or did I miss that?
No, you should have got your talent. That was your
That was your proud and honorable, wasn't it?
Oh, that was a talent? I thought that was a trait. My bad. Nope. I will move that.
Yeah. Spirit of discovery makes sense both for because it's Star Trek-y. I mean, come on.
Oh yes.
Right.
And secondly, it's also sciencey.
It actually is sciencey.
Yeah.
I want to discover. I want to discover things and shoot them. You know. Listen. I know things feel pain. I'm trying to experiment with 1, pain tolerances, and 2, how well can they take a shot? I mean, do they take it? Do they take it like a bitch, or do they, or do they take it like a Romulan?
When you say shots, are you? From your science, I'm assuming you're talking about syringes.
No, I'm talking about with guns.
All right,
gun that shoots syringes.
That's an okay gun in Fallout. There are better ones.
It's a gun, Frank. A gun
To
that
be
shoots
fair, I just double checked the science officer pre-gen character, and the its 3 highest stats are insight, reason, and then fitness, followed by control, presence, and then daring. So, to be fair, I'm already on the right track here.
Sure. All right, step 2, Skitch, is you pick what homeworld you're from. What environment you're from? What type of planet you're from?
Is this listed anywhere in the quick start guide?
Well, I'm just gonna list them off right now. They're right here.
Sure.
You've got 6 choices. You could be from Earth, homeworld.
Yeah.
From a busy colony, an isolated colony, a frontier colony, a starship or starbase, or you could have grown up on another species world.
Ooh. Any particularly interesting traits that come with some of those, or?
It just modifies what stats where you're going to get a +1 to 1 stat and 1 attribute, and then you pick a value of you describe a value that would tie into that.
Interesting. I mean, like, what would Homeworld bring?
Homeworld gives you +1 to any of the 3 attributes you boosted with for your race, and then you get +1 to command, security, or science.
There we go. That's easy enough.
Okay, you want to do that?
So yeah, let's do.
So you're from Earth?
Yeah, I'll say I'm from Earth. Wind. What stat is your focus for your character?
What stat is my focus? Because focus is a listing.
I know. That, I mean, in terms of what is your focal point in terms of your attributes? What is your highest attribute?
My highest right now is an even tie between control and presence.
Got it. Works well. Okay, so I'm gonna boost.
And fitness is my worst.
I'm gonna boost reason for now up to 9.
Okay.
Makes sense for science anyway.
Yep,
yeah.
and you can add +1 to either command, security, or science.
Already added 1 to science, and now science is 2.
Now you should pick a sort of you should pick a value that is sort of a core part of your personality. It should reflect the environment and culture you were raised with in some way. Either yeah.
Is this a trait or what is this?
It's a value.
This is
a value.
This is just a fill-in. This is not like a hard mechanical thing.
See, I like to think of a mixture of. I like to think this idea of brash naivete mixed with. It's a good word that talks about an exploring spirit.
Expedition.
Yeah, expeditious.
How about curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction brought him back?
I'm not that. I mean, for me, I'm not a doctor. I mean, I am, but I'm not that doctor. Okay, listen. Okay. I'm not a sadist. Okay, no matter what people tell you, I'm not a sadist.
Oh dear Lord.
I might have put across the wrong impression at times, multiple times, which were all somehow documented, but that's in the past. Anyway,
you might reconsider the definition of values as motto, but that's
Yeah.
not a hard and fast
Yeah.
association.
I understand. Yeah.
For example, the first one I took is Proud Daughter of Andoria, because
Mhm.
she's from her homeworld.
Well, I took conflict breeds excellence.
Mm-hmm. Trying to think of another way to say it, like,
And my Tellarite took screw the book.
I mean, another way to say is always ready for the next unknown.
That's good. I like that.
That's
good.
good, yeah.
That's good. That's good.
I like that a lot, actually.
And the next unknown is like capitalized, and I might circle over it with a Sharpie.
Next unknown should be capitalized. I actually approve that. You could almost put a TM afterwards, you know.
The next
Just
unknown.
make sure that you spell it as unknown, so you're not talking about Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be
Trademark and
ready
copyright.
for the next one, because they just don't stop fucking coming.
True. All right. Next step after you jot that down is your upbringing.
Okay.
Were you brought up? Did your family have strong ties to Starfleet? Did they have business or trade ties? Were they an agricultural rural family? Were they into science and technology? Were they artistic and creative? Or were they into diplomacy and politics?
Good one. Because I'm torn between a few things.
Mhm.
Most notably, whether or not Gav is in this call. That's really the main thing I'm torn between.
Hey,
See, I'm
Gav.
hearing a lot of scurrilous rumors that I'm late, and I'm never late. You guys are late. You're
No,
always late.
you're on time.
It's ridiculous.
Dude, Gav, you're on time to tell me what my Star Trek character's upbringing was. What group of individuals was he most associated with when he was growing up?
The kids that got hit with shoes.
That's a good one. I believe that's Starfleet, right? Starfleet would, I guess, tie to command more closely, or what? Or
Not
I guess what are the benefits of the upbringing you choose?
basically they will give you +2 to one stat, +1 to another, and then +1 to a discipline, and then you get a focus also.
So,
And a
so let's
talent.
say Starfleet would be what I'm going to guess 2 to control.
Oh, I forgot the other point is that for your attributes, what your bonuses will depend on whether you accepted your upbringing or rejected it.
Interesting.
So if you rebelled against your upbringing, you get different stat bonuses.
Oh, geez, this is getting way more complex because now the permutations have doubled.
Yes.
Oh, shit. I'm trying to think of what this character sounds like one who would reject an upbringing of some sort.
Possibly.
He would reject some sort of mundane upbringing to go out and try to discover stuff and
So
possibly
what
shoot it.
about rural and agricultural, and you rejected it?
That
Screw
sounds like
being
a pretty
farm.
good one there. Listen, screw you, Dad. I'm getting on my bike and going off into space.
All right. So you were from an agricultural family. You should note. By the way, you should note that down in the top part of the sheet.
Yep, I got agriculture, then rejected next
Yep.
to it.
All right. So you rejected your agricultural upbringing. Increase your presence by 1 and your reason by 2.
Hey, that works well.
And
Oh,
then
no,
you
no.
add 1 to either con, security, or medicine.
For the record, con is like vehicular operation for
Yes.
the most part.
And also
Right,
knowledge about knowledge about starships and protocol on starships and different spacefaring cultures.
I'm going to add that to con. So now my reason is 11. This is fine.
You are
Presence
smart.
is 8. I'm smart. I got a little bit of presence, which this is still working out pretty well.
Yep.
But
No, that
screw
works.
you. Screw
All right.
you, Dad.
We will come back to the talents later, and you'll see why.
To what?
You get a talent here also, but also you get a focus.
Yeah, focus is a combination of a attribute and a discipline in a specific manner, correct?
No, it's more basically it's a specialty for it's sort of a specialty that you focus on.
Mm.
My
it can be
focus is
anything.
philosophy.
Like words is philosophy. Eric, what did you choose?
I took inspiring presence.
Inspiring.
I'm good at rallying people.
Yep. My character took small craft because he learned how to pilot shuttles when he was young.
My Tellurite engineer took jury rigging. At this point,
It should be noted that this is not anything hard and fast in the book. This is just put whatever you damn well please.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And you just put on one focus for the time being.
One focus, yes. You get one focus here. You will get more.
Yeah, you could put like experimentation.
Sure. Or a particular science you like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Field.
Also, I'm trying to look at some of the focus there.
So, Gav,
Hello.
did you want to make a character also?
do it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess I think one of the focuses I want to put out. I guess it's not so much like a way of doing things, but like a discipline.
It's a field of expertise.
A field of expertise, right? Puzzles.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
That's a
all right.
perfectly valid one.
Yeah, that makes
Like-
sense with reason being a good score of
Yep,
yours. Yeah.
absolutely.
And then there's like other one like mechanics and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
That you can get
All right, Gav.
Okay.
So
Yes.
I linked a blank a Google Doc blank sheet in the Discord chat,
I got him.
and you should make yourself a copy somehow.
Is it that one? Yes. Oh, this is a Google Doc. So could I just, in theory, save this, or is it yours?
This is my version here.
Oh, I don't know.
Try clicking on File and go to Make a Copy and see if that works for you. That should work. It doesn't always, and I don't know why.
Give me a second. I'll save it to my drive. Okay.
You got it.
Yes.
It worked. Good. Excellent.
And favorited. Hang on a second. If I then close this tab. And yes.
Excellent. All right. I will now scroll back to the beginning of this. Skitch, I will catch up with you in a second. All right, Gav. Step 1. Pick your species.
Oh God.
Your choices are... There are 8 choices currently.
Oh. Currently overwhelmed.
Andorian, Bajoran, Betazoid, Denoblian, Human, Tellurite, Trill, or Vulcan.
But they're all the boring ones.
Well, you could also make your own space weirdo.
Please don't do that to me right now.
Which one are the Tellurites? Oh, those guys. No.
But you don't want to be a
Space
space
pigs are
dwarf?
awesome.
No. No.
We have an Andorian, a Klingon, and a human, and then Mecha's also making a Vulcan for fun.
Yes.
See, I'd go Vulcan, but I'm just not capable of being that up my own ass.
Fair enough.
That's honestly why I thought that you'd be great for Tellurite, really.
They're very blunt.
Oh, yes, they are.
Oh yes.
I just don't like them as a race.
That's fine. You could just be a human. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, seriously.
There's so much wrong to just being human.
Yeah,
I'd
you're
be
not
a human
blue.
that I know. According to like Star Trek Discovery, if you spend enough time around other races, you become that race.
Shush.
So so I could be a human that's just spent too long around Tellarites.
If you want to be,
valid.
that's valid. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that explains me in general. Go on, and we'll go with that.
You
Human.
go with human. All right.
Yeah.
As a human, you
I was
note
gonna
down.
go with. I was going to go with something a little bit fancier, like Trill or Beta Z, but there's like empathy and shit needed, and I do that at work, so you're not getting that at me.
All right. So, step one. You add +1 to 3 different stats, 3 different attributes.
Oh, hang on. All your attributes are in here. What's the base?
7. Those are the attributes.
7s and then 1s.
Okay, 7 at the top, 1's at the bottom.
Yep.
Yeah, I always thought Trill was like cheating because it's like, oh, you know what would be really useful here? My third host once had a training weekend on this planet.
That's a talent
I know
you can
how to
take.
do all of this.
That's a talent
Hey.
you can take.
Wow.
It's a good talent.
Power of pull out of arse.
Yes. If you
it's
are
actually kind of a cool power.
if you are a joined Trill, once per mission, you may declare a former host had an expertise in a relevant skill or field of study. You gain a single focus for the remainder of the scene as you draw upon those memories.
Yeah, that's cheating.
It really just isn't that cheating, honestly. It's just very good.
Yeah. Okay, what do I get as a human then? So +3 to any stat.
+1 to 3 different stats.
Oh, 1 to 3 stats, okay.
Yes.
What do I want to be? That's the thing.
That's a good question. A lot of different ways you can go.
So what do some of the stats do? There's obvious ones like fitness and
Okay, I'll read those off for you again.
okay.
Since you were not here for that, let me scroll back a
I
bit.
was not.
You were
All right.
totally here for that.
Yeah, I was not here for that.
I totally didn't get home from work and just lay down for too long.
All right. Control is about the character controlling themselves, and it covers precision, accuracy, and careful timing. It can rely on self-discipline and control of one's emotions, or mixture of motor skills, coordination, and familiarity with the activity. Daring is whenever the character reacts to a new situation without doubt, hesitation, or caution. It covers circumstances where characters take decisive action without a detailed plan or analysis and relies on gut instinct and quick reflexes. Fitness is fitness. Insight is insight, really. I mean, presence is power, personality, and reason is about logic and meticulous analysis.
We'll put 1 in reason.
And the disciplines are all pretty straightforward. Con is, as I mentioned, it's driving vehicles and such, and knowing shit about vehicles and starships and spacefaring cultures and protocol.
Okay.
The other 5 are very obvious.
For the record, the general angles that we're going off here is I'm going for captain, Eric is going for head of security, and Skitch is going for science.
But,
I don't want to be the engineer again.
you don't have to be. You can be the pilot.
Ooh, yes. Okay, pilot. So +1 to con.
You don't add. No, you don't add. You don't add anything to disciplines yet.
Oh,
Attributes.
in that case, control.
Yep. +1 to control, +1 to reason, and +1 to.
I wouldn't say daring, even though possibly could be. I'm thinking daring or insight.
They're both valid. I will say, for in terms of combat stuff, just so you know, control is shoot stuff, daring is hit stuff.
Deal. You have to be brave to be accurate. Wait, what? That explains stormtroopers!
There's so many different ways. All right, so you've
Attributes done.
attributes done, right? And you also get a talent. You may pick one of the starting human ones, or we can come back to when we do talents later. We can come back to. Let me list off the two human talent, the two race specific human ones.
Okay.
The human talents are resolute. You are indomitable and unwilling to succumb to adversity. You increase your maximum stress by 3. Stress is damage, basically, hit points, basically.
Right.
And Spirit of Discovery, which is you may spend 1 determination to add 3 points to the group momentum pool. Momentum is a pool of points that that the players can spend to do a whole bunch of different stuff during the game.
Right.
The most obvious one is buying extra dice to roll on skill checks.
Right. I will wait to see what else there is.
Okay, that's fine. All right, step 2. What is the environment you're from? I.e., what type of planet did you grow up on, basically? The options are homeworld, busy colony, isolated colony, frontier colony, starship or starbase, or another species world.
Another species world.
All right, you grew up on another species world. What species did you grow up? Well, whose planet did you grow up on?
Tellarite.
You grew up amongst Tellarites. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I get to be a belligerent asshole.
All right. So you will get to add +1 to one of the stats Tellarites get for their starting bonuses.
Right.
So you can add +1 to either control, fitness, or insight.
I believe control is probably the best bet.
Okay. All right. That's step 1. You choose any one discipline, add +1 to that.
Oh, okay. Con, I guess.
Okay. Lastly, you should pick a. Now you pick a. You define yourself one of your values. Values are basically your core tenets of your personality.
Okay.
Mechanically, what they do is they're situations. They're what allow you to spend determination normally.
Right.
And so they're sort of core tenets of your personality. The one you pick here should tie somewhat to the environment you grew up in, the environment and culture you grew up in some way, in theory.
You might think of it as a motto or a personal philosophy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if I'm going all in with it, then it'd be honesty, I'm guessing.
Yeah, sure.
Literal, just yeah. No underhandedness.
All right. Trying to think of a pithy way to phrase it.
You can't be too honest.
Possibly.
Or honesty is the best policy.
Forthrightness is awesome.
Doop-doo.
Hmm.
All right.
Oh, the truth hurts. Truth hurts, but better to be hurt by the truth than comforted by a lie.
I like that.
That's a good one too.
Well, just paraphrase that then. What is it? There's no comfort in lies or something like that. I don't know.
That's actually I like that actually. Yeah.
Yeah,
There
no
you
comfort in
go.
lies. Yeah.
There we go. Nice, Gav.
Is that in the values? Yeah.
Put that in the values. Yep. All right. Next is you're going to be choosing your upbringing.
Okay.
All right. This is where Skitch is also.
Right.
All right. So your upbringing. This is all basically what your family's sort of thing was. So your family basically, were you brought up amongst people who had ties to Starfleet, business or trade, agriculture or rural, science and technology, artistic and creative, or diplomacy and politics?
And did you embrace it or reject it?
Yeah.
Well, Tellurites are a Federation planet.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you might have had a human family there. I mean,
Yeah. No, I'm just referring to whether it's
no, you're part of the
when you say
Federation.
things yeah, I'm thinking like when you're saying things like trade, it's like, is it like currency trade or is it?
No, but shipping stuff around.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I think the pilot that used to drive cargo haulers is a little bit cliche at this point. Tellurites known for their diplomacy.
It's a special kind of diplomacy. You're in for an interesting day when the diplomat you're interacting with is a Tellarite. The weird thing is, they actually make good diplomats in certain ways.
Mm.
Did we lose Gav? Or
No, that was
Skitch?
Sketch who poofed.
Sketch. We'll keep it simple. We'll go with connections to Starfleet.
Okay. Did you accept this upbringing or did you reject it?
Apparently, I accepted it.
Okay, you accepted it. Well, I mean, you
Yep.
basically did you you could have rejected it as a kid and came back to it as a young adult.
No, I'll go all in.
All right. Up your control by 2 and your fitness by 1.
Ooh. And okay.
And add +1 to any one discipline.
I could have a control of 5. No,
Yeah,
I'll put a little
con
bit of
5.
engineering.
All right.
There's no point being a pilot if you don't know how to fix your own machine.
Okay. Now you must choose a focus relating your connection to Starfleet. This could be.
You can think of
This
this
is
as specialization or expertise.
Yes.
I guess we're going with pilot.
So starships
Um.
or small craft or something.
See, that's the thing. Where's the line drawn?
Well,
Like,
it's your con skill will work for either of them, for anything.
Right.
This is just where you are.
your speciality.
Your
okay.
speciality, yes.
Are you the one who pilots on the bridge, or do you operate shuttlecraft or something like that?
Yeah, we'll go with bridge because Peter's already got small craft.
All right, so
Okay, so you are a
starship pilot.
so starships. Okay.
Yep.
This means you also checks anything involving starships. So if you're doing an engineering check, you get your focus bonus also.
Cool.
It doesn't
Is this
just
all
apply to
going-
con. Is
this all going in values?
That goes in focuses.
Oh, let's focus. Oh shit. Okay, hang on. I've done this wrong then.
Scroll
Let me get
down.
rid of these. Okay, so I've got starships
Okay.
in focus.
Yep.
At this point, you should have 1 talent and 1 focus.
I don't have a talent yet.
He hasn't
What
picked it
was
yet.
that?
You also gain an additional talent for
Alright.
your upbringing, but we'll get to that later.
I'm at the
And
dark stage.
Starfleet is a value then.
Starfleet is actually your upbringing in the upper part.
I prefer.
Below rank, next
Aha!
to environment.
Got it.
And environment was another species world. And you might want to note Tellarite.
Out of curiosity, what does Starfleet bring to you? Did he accept or reject Starfleet?
He accepted it.
So what does that bring?
Control +2, fitness by 1.
We just lost Skitch again.
That Skitch fell into Smite.
Sorry about that. So what does that bring to the table?
+2 control, +1 fitness, and +1 to any discipline.
Makes sense.
What's the traits?
Those traits are.
Your trait should be listed as human
Human.
right now. Other that you might pick up other traits during play or what have you. It's just
That's fine. Oh, hold on. What have I pushed? Oh, no, I got it. I thought I'd lost it.
all right. Skitch, did you get your? So you got your attributes, right?
You got attributes. I have
The discipline.
Am I done with these for now?
You done your attributes. Had you done anything else in your upbringing?
I did the attributes for the upbringing.
Okay.
And the +1 to con.
Okay. Right. Okay. And then you pick a focus.
Which I already did.
Okay. Then you were done with upbringing. Also, you will get a talent, which we will come back to.
Is it making fried chicken dishes?
I guess that might be a possible talent.
I mean,
All
it's
right.
not a great talent, but it is one.
All right. So now for you two, we are on to Starfleet Academy.
Oh shit! Is this on the test?
Yes.
Everything is on the test.
All right. You pick which track in Starfleet you were on: command, operations, or sciences.
What?
Gav, if you want to be a pilot, command is the choice.
Okay.
So just add one.
No, just no. Just I'll get to that in a second. And Skitch, you were on sciences.
Yeah.
All right. So you will be adding another value, which should reflect some aspect of your beliefs that developed during your time at the academy. We'll get to that.
Okay.
So is command a value?
No. This is not a value or anything like that. This is just the block of the life track we're in.
Okay.
All right, first off, you get 3 points to assign to attributes. You may assign them to either 2 or 3 attributes. So you may add +1 to 3 different ones, or +2 to one, and +1 to another.
Right, but you can't put all 3 in one.
No.
Correct.
Okay. Let's bump insight up to 10, and the one I could crack reason up to 12 if I want to be a jerk, but I'm going to go with control, make that a 9.
Okay.
I will put control up to 10, reason to 9, and daring to 9.
Okay. Next. All right, Gav. Pick either command or con as your major. I believe you're picking con.
Yes.
All right, add +2 to that.
Oh god. Con 6.
Okay, that will be they'll be drop down after in a bit, but we'll get to that.
Okay.
I don't think Eric and I chose majors yet.
We're all caught up.
Oh, okay.
Yay!
All right, yes, because you
I'm
pick a
late.
value. You got the point where you guys had chosen your values from this, but yeah, you'll be picking another value here, which should tie into your development of your personality at the academy.
Okay, so if I pick science for my major,
Right.
that's just +2 to science.
Yep. So yes,
Okay.
basically +2 to your major. So Wind, yours would be command. Eric, yours would be security.
Mm-hmm.
And then you add +1 to +1 to 2 other ones of your choice.
Oh, okay.
What was that?
+1 to 2 other disciplines of your choice.
So I have a question. Gav said that with the +2 from the major, he was at 6 con.
Yeah.
With the +2 from the major, I'm only at 5. Did I miss a point, or
Gav's lever has just gone into con so far.
Yeah, I got a.
I haven't been putting anything into anything but command until this point. That's why I'm wondering why there's a discrepancy. Did I miss a point somewhere?
I got an extra bonus. I got the racial bonus for being human, and I also got a con bonus for being.
No, Gav, you can't. No, Gav, you can't add. Human doesn't add to con. Remember?
Hello.
Being
Hello.
race, Gav.
Hang on, everything's skitching out.
Don't pin this on me.
I'm dropping in and out of the call. That's what you've been doing today.
Gav, can you hear me now?
All day.
Yes.
Okay. For your race, you added to attributes, not disciplines.
No, somewhere along the lines you told me to add something to con. I'm sure you have.
Yes.
Yeah,
You probably got one for your homeworld and one for your. You should have gotten one for your homeworld and one for your upbringing.
Homeworld. That's what it was. Yeah. So one to start off with.
You start at 1, plus 1 for
upbringing.
homeworld brings you to 2, plus 1 for upbringing brings you to 3. This brings you to 5.
Where the hell did I get from 6 then?
I don't know.
That's what I asked.
You should be at 5.
Okay.
All right. I need to double check the character I'm working on. Did I add to my stats yet?
All right. So for disciplines, 2 to the major and 1 to 2 other things. You said.
Yes.
Actually, did I get an extra bonus? Did it because I accepted my upbringing?
You only got 1 point there.
Did I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get 1 from your upbringing, irrespective of what happens.
Yes.
Right. So
okay. So you get 1 from your home world, or 1 from where you're born, 1 from your upbringing. I think, right?
Yep. That is correct.
And then
Right.
2. And
Yeah.
then
So
2 from the
6.
school.
So 1 from your home, 1 from your upbringing.
And now
And
we're
then
on
2
to
from the school.
which brings you to 3.
What?
1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3, Gav.
Well, 1 plus 1 plus 2 is 4. Plus 1 is 5. That's the math.
So you
get
start at
nothing.
1, Gav, right?
Yeah.
You get nothing from your species.
You get
only
nothing from your species.
Okay.
1 from your homeworld.
Yep.
1 from your
1 from your upbringing.
and 2 from
Right.
the school.
And 2 from school. That's 5.
Yeah, it should be at 5, dude.
You may have brought up 2 by accident at some point and doubled back. That happens.
Okay. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, so for me, I have 4 science, 2 con, 2 engineering, 2 medicine.
I'm sitting at 5 command, 2 secure, 2 science.
I've got 3 command, 2 con, 4 security, 1 engineering, 1 science, and 1 medicine.
Okay. Well, in that case, I am sitting at 2 command, 5 con, and 3 engineering, 1 everything else.
Okay. Hang on 1 second. I need to check something.
We're totally pigeonholing Y-Rod as the doctor.
It doesn't. Not necessarily.
I know, but
Honestly, if we were going to do this, I'd probably play the space pig I made the other day.
There's still the engineer.
Yeah, there's also the engineer. Don't forget that.
Yeah, but if I'm playing the space pig, then he's the engineer. Because he's the best engineer.
Or something.
Listen, back when I was on the farm, we had to fix the truck. What we usually used was a combination of tar, bubble gum, and leftover grease from the bacon.
You know damn well that Starfleet engineering is just finding different ways of saying turn it on and off again.
Ma'am. Did you power it down and power it back up again? You're
Let's
welcome.
also not forget that it's also all about padding how long it'll actually take.
Yes. Well, that's all any engineer, even today, does.
Or padding how long it takes for you to answer the phone.
So, all in all, can I just check? All in all, how many points do you guys have in disciplines altogether, added up?
11. Though in seriousness, it's 12.
Yeah, 12.
See, somehow I have 13.
That's-
discipline totality is 12. Yes.
I'm going through double checking stuff right now. So hang on 1 second.
11, 12, 13, yeah.
So, was that 13 before or after the 6?
That's now, without the 6. 2 in command, 5 in con, 3 in engineering, and 1, 2, 3 for the other 3 skills.
1, 2, 3. How does it? Okay.
Security 1, science 1, medicine 1.
Okay. Wait. That's...
I've only done as I've been told. I'm sorry.
No, that's 12. You said 5, 3... Oh, okay, so... what sounds like it should be, one should be 5, one should be 3, and the rest should all be 1s. But that doesn't seem possible because there's no way to get a 5 and a 3. Most you can get is a 5, a 5, a 2, and a 2. Yeah.
Mm.
So basically, your permutations are a 5-2 or 5-2-2, 4-2-2-2, 3-2-2-2-2. You know, or something to that extent.
I see. I just saw it there as you're scrolling through. A Starfleet that accepts their upbringing gets 2 to their con.
No, they get 2 to their control.
Ah, that's where I've messed up. Okay.
Aha!
That's probably where you probably... Yeah, I probably heard con and gone, okay.
+2 to control,
Right.
+1 to fitness.
So should my control be at... Should my control be up at 10 now?
That sounds
Yeah.
about right, yes.
Yeah. They get +2 to their fire resistance. Right. Got it. No, fitness. What?
All right.
Not fire resistance.
I think attribute total should be at 52 right now.
So,
52? I don't think I'm that high. Because I got, let me see here, 9 plus 7 plus 8 plus 7 plus 10 plus 11? Okay, it's 52. Yeah, arithmetic's not my strong suit, so
so that sounds... Yeah,
that's
so
that's your discrepancy. You had 2 extra disciplines and
Well,
2 fewer.
no, it's not though. That's the issue. So I've got 2 less attributes than you guys, but 1 more discipline.
No, you initially
I
had
don't think you added both of your bonus ones from your education. You put in your 2, and you probably put in one of your 1s, but I don't think you put in your other 1.
Hello,
No,
Hello.
Gav?
goddamn Discord.
I
The
think
word started saying "I don't think you," and then everything went silent.
I mean, before you had 2 extra disciplines and 2 fewer attributes. That's what we had. So all you had to do was just switch the 2 extra con and add 2 to
Con's
control.
down
And
to
that
4, and that's not right.
what your con down to 4?
Yeah.
That's fine because you have a 3 somewhere and a 2 somewhere.
3 in engineering and 2 in command.
That's
Yeah.
correct.
That should add up correctly.
Yes.
Okay. So I have 2 attributes then to spend.
Those
Those should be
both
in control.
Your control should be 11,
12.
18. Okay, whatever.
What? I'm lost.
Okay, Gav.
I'm making a joke.
Skitch is making a joke. Gav, we can walk back through it again.
Okay.
Start back at
Dropping all-
start back at 11. Start back at
Dropping
7s
all
across the
to
board.
7s across the board.
All right,
And 1s from the disciplines, because
Yes.
they're obviously messed up as well.
that's fine. This is since you've already made your choices. It shouldn't be too hard.
Yeah.
Plus
Okay.
1 to add +1 to 3 different attributes.
Right, so I said control, I said daring, and I said reason.
All right. All right. Add +1 to either control, fitness, or insight.
Which I would have put control.
All right. Let me. Okay, another species world. Add +1 to any discipline.
That'd
I
be
think you were going with con, right? Gav? Gav?
I think
Yeah.
Gav is dead again.
Okay.
No,
did you-
sorry.
All right. So you got the okay. So you added three to your attributes, then 1 to one of your attributes. Now you're adding 1 to
Yeah.
1 discipline.
1-to-1 discipline, which would be con.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Now add 2 to control, 1 to fitness,
Right.
and 1 to any discipline.
8. And then it is con.
Okay. Now, right. Add 3 points as you see fit. Add 3 points take 3 points and distribute them amongst your attributes, adding no more than 2 to one of them. So either 1 plus 1 plus 1 or plus 2 and plus 1.
Yeah, that's what I did. So another one in attribute, it's in control, so that's
No,
another
no.
one. Another
Yeah.
one in daring, and I'll put one in insight.
Okay?
Okay.
Now, add plus 2 to con, and plus
As in
1
control or discipline? It's
to
just the
con, the discipline.
discipline. Right.
I will say
Out of
control.
5.
I will say control when I mean control.
Okay, just checking.
I'm not going to abbreviate control. So, plus 2 to con and plus 1 to 2 other disciplines.
Plus 2 to con and plus 1 to something.
Plus 1 to 2 other disciplines.
Right. In that case, it'll be command and engineering.
Okay.
So your engineering is now 2.
Yeah.
But everything else lines up properly.
All right. Similarly, for do the same. Everyone else should do basically the same thing.
Okay.
All right. Next step. Okay, you now get 3 more focuses.
Well then.
Oh, we got to make sure our second values are established, though.
Yeah, you also establish your second value, but we can do this in whatever order you want to do them in. I'm just telling you what you get now. You'll be getting 3 more focuses, at least one of which should relate to your major.
Okay.
The other 2 can be whatever you want. For people on the command tracks, I'll list off some examples. Astrogation, composure, diplomacy, extravehicular activity, evasive action, helm operations, inspiration, persuasion, small craft, starship recognition, Starfleet protocols, team dynamics.
I'll go for starship recognition.
Okay. You get 2 more.
Evasive maneuvers, did you say?
That's another one. Or evasive action, if you want to phrase it that
Evasive
way.
action, sorry, yeah.
You could make it evasive maneuvers, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I'm more impressed I managed to spell maneuvers correctly without getting it wrong.
Can you repeat that suggestion list again, please?
Okay. Astronavigation,
Yes.
composure, diplomacy, extravehicular activity, evasive action, helm operations, inspiration, persuasion, small craft, starship recognition, Starfleet protocols, team dynamics.
Actually, no,
All right.
I will go with composure.
You're getting 3 more focuses or 2 more?
3 more.
3.
All right, I took composure, persuasion, and diplomacy.
Okay. We'll read off examples for operations for Eric. Computers, cybernetics, electroplasma power systems, espionage, hand phasers, hand-to-hand combat, infiltration, interrogation, shipboard tactical systems, survival, transporters and replicators, warp field dynamics.
Hand-to-hand, interrogation, and espionage.
Okay. Sciences
Right.
track.
Yeah.
I'm so amazed you didn't go for cybernetics.
All right, Skitch. Cybernetics options. Cybernetics examples.
Yo.
Anthropology, astrophysics, botany, computers, cybernetics, emergency medicine, exotectonics, genetics, geology, infectious diseases, linguistics, physics, psychiatry, quantum mechanics, trauma surgery, virology, warp field dynamics, xenobiology. Those are examples.
Those are the ones the 3 I'm going to pick are probably. I'm going to choose between either computers, geology, linguistics, and xenobiology. Not quite sure which ones.
Okay.
I'm trying to think which of those would be most interesting for this team comp.
Consider this. What kind of scientist are you?
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
Science with a capital.
Are you like a physicist, a mechanical scientist, a social scientist, or something else?
I mean, or a blend of them, because you're a Starfleet officer. You get cross discipline
Sure.
training is a thing.
Oh, sure, but which one? Is...
Oh, astrology.
Yeah.
Bad Eric. No biscuit.
pretty sure
No, it's homeopathy is my specialization.
There you go.
See, I'm pretty sure the only people in Star Trek that get to classes science, just in general, with the capital S, is Data and Spock.
See here. See, I'm trying to think about my characters like so far, right? Grew up on a farm, rejected the farm life to basically both like brashly go explore the unknown, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to assume his field of disciplines is on basically assessing.
Xenobiology might be.
Xenobiology is
good
one
thing.
of them. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
one of those. So linguistics, possibly.
Yep.
Because I just like the idea of him. He wants to be able to understand the other culture as fast as possible. If that doesn't work, shoot it. And if that doesn't work,
Then you know how to beg.
I'm trying to think of the other one there. What's the list again, Peter?
All right. Anthropology, astrophysics, botany, computers, cybernetics, emergency medicine, exotectonics, genetics, geology, infectious diseases, linguistics, physics, psychiatry, quantum mechanics, trauma surgery, virology, warp field dynamics, xenobiology. But again,
What's that? What's exotectonics?
Alien geology, basically.
basically,
Yeah.
It's exo, not xeno. So I think that would just basically be like your
Oh, yeah.
comprehensive of like a planet's geological structure, and like you can tell like, and you're good at figuring out like, okay, how stable is this land mass? You know, it's like, are there going to be earthquakes? Is there going to be, you know, a good place to land? You know, that kind of thing.
I think it sounds like meaningless Star Trek technobabble.
at any rate,
To Google!
I did that. And it was surprisingly not helpful.
Basically, exotectonics refers exoplanets are planets that exist outside of the solar system.
Mm.
So exotectonics refers to understanding the tectonics of extrasolar planets.
Yes. Okay.
So it sounds like your bag.
Yeah. So, yeah. It's like, listen here. I may have a weird dialect, but I think I know what that fella over there is trying to say.
Because you have linguistics.
He says he doesn't like you, Captain.
How unfortunate.
We should hit him.
Granted, I didn't parse that from his language. It's more from the fact that he's pointing a gun at the comms, Commander.
I thought the raised middle digit meant peace between worlds. It was an honest mistake. I didn't know.
Well, there will be peace after a little bit of a conflict, but
Excellent. Conflict breeds excellence. We'll show them how excellent we are.
right. Okay, next value here. So,
Yep. You get to pick another value now.
Aha.
Should tie into sort of things you learned in the. It should be something you develop while at the academy, basically.
So
So-
we're at 3 values or 2
This will
values?
take you to 2, I believe.
Okay.
here we go. Strive for peace, prepare for conflict.
Okay. That is a very Starfleet. That is that.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a very Starfleet trait value, but it is a mostly Starfleet value. But I definitely, I can definitely see that.
Listen. If we could resolve this without any bloodshed, I would appreciate it. I know this shirt looks like it's red already. I don't want to get any more blood on it. Is all I'm saying. I've not watched Star Trek at all, but I just know basic tropes like red shirts.
I will go with The journey is as valuable as the destination.
Okay, there you go.
It's one I should live by myself, but I don't. Genetics, infectious diseases, and how to weaponize them. A brief guide by Dr. Pulaski.
Or conversely, take weaponized disease and find out how to make them infectious.
So when do I get to open a vineyard?
I don't know.
Oh.
Not during character creation. All right, so for anybody who, if you want to come back to your value, that's fine. It's just it's a thing to think about.
I'm pretty happy with patriotism without rationality is foolishness.
I like it. And what was yours, Eric?
Violence is not always the answer, but is not always. Violence is always an answer, but not always the answer. Because I went to Klingon Academy. You guys are weird.
Violence is the best answer, but not always the only answer.
All right. At any rate,
Now we're
on to step 5. Where are you in your career? Are you a new young officer? Are you an experienced officer? Or are you a grizzled veteran officer?
I'm experienced.
All right, so you're middle. Okay. I will say this: what you're getting here is a talent and a value. If you're an experienced officer, pick a value, and it can be chosen freely, and you'll get to just pick a talent at choice. If you're a young officer, you should pick a value that reflects your character's inexperience and naivete in some way, and you get a specific talent called untapped potential. If you're a veteran officer, your value must reflect your character's years of experience and beliefs they've formed over their long career, and you take a single talent veteran. I'll explain what those do when you pick. This should be.
My guy's probably on the young side, I'm assuming.
You want to be a young officer?
Yeah.
All right. So
I kind of like the idea of this guy being one of those grizzled, gray-haired Klingons.
Okay, then you're a veteran officer.
All right, let's do those first.
How the hell did you end up on my ship?
Exchange program. So where do I write that down?
All right. So you note down in your notes that you're an experienced officer, or which one these are. You note down in your talents, Eric, that you are a veteran, because that is a talent. I'll tell you what it does in a second.
I guess I'll go with the youngster then, since we've got 2 veterans and a.
Well, we've got one experienced,
I'm
one
experienced, not veteran.
Oh, sorry. What was Skitch? I thought.
Skitch is young.
Skitch is young. I'm middle.
Okay.
Eric's old.
So I'm literally doubling up. Okay. Yeah, we'll go young anyway.
Okay, so you're a young officer also.
That's terrible. One of us is gonna have to die then.
All right, so Gav, note down in your talents untapped potential.
Okay.
No, this does not mean you have yet to go to the pub and get something to drink here.
All right.
Every drink.
Mine is veteran.
Yours is veteran, yes. All right, Gav and Skitch, when we get to the last step where the finishing touches, we're going to have to scale some of your attributes and disciplines back, because you can't have an attribute above 11 or a discipline above 4. That said, those also begin.
No, it's an attribute above 12.
No, for an experienced officer, it's 11
Ah.
Aww.
and 4. That said, you'll get to put those points anywhere else.
So for a young officer, what is the maxes?
Maxes are 11 and 4.
I'm fine.
I'm not.
Don't worry about it right now, Gav.
All right. I got a couple of the value here, though. So,
all right. An important note. This is something this is something to remember if you want to note it down on the sheet. This is probably a good idea. Whenever you succeed at a task in which you bought one or more additional dice with either momentum or threat, you'll be rolling one of the special dice. You receive a bonus momentum equal to the roll of the die, and add 1 point to threat if an effect is rolled. Don't worry about that. What it means right now. I will go back to that when we get to actually.
So is that just the untapped potential ability, basically?
Yeah, that's the untapped potential ability.
Can you roll that by making it more time?
All right.
Please?
Whenever you buy an additional die with either momentum or threat, roll an effect die. You get bonus momentum out of the task equal to the roll of the die. And you add a point to threat if you roll an effect. So it is a simultaneous, like, ooh, it's win big, and oh god, things have gotten kind of wonky.
Mm-hmm.
So I have compiled my third value.
Yep.
The one that comes with experience. A firm hand is easily twisted.
Okay. Yeah, Skitch and Gav, yours should be something to deal with, the fact that you're young officers, you're inexperienced.
But did you die?
Oh God. I see what you're doing. Okay. Go ahead. That's fine, Gav.
What did Gav put down?
But did you die?
Awesome.
So, like, mine is a little bit more wordy, but it's basically with no knowledge of the limits, I don't even know my own potential.
I like it.
That's good.
And Eric?
I'm too old for this.
I was actually going to go with beware old men and careers beware old men and careers where people die young.
I like it. That's a good one, actually. It's classic. All right, Eric, you have the veteran ability. This one's actually really good. They're all good, but whenever you spend a point of determination, roll an effect die. If you roll an effect, immediately regain your spent point of determination.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So it's like, and I spent my determination, and you basically have a 1 in 3 chance of getting it back, basically.
One sec.
Okay.
Oh no, that's
That was-
I put that in
That is a talent.
talents. Yeah.
Okay, we're on to step 6, which is career events. You must pick 2 of them, and what happened to you before you joined up with it? It's basically what happened to you after you graduated from the academy and before you came to the ship. Notable events.
Is there a list of this?
There is a list, yes.
It's actually on screen right now. I can actually see it.
Yep.
Oh, I never look at the stream.
I know, that's fine.
I never watch this stream. I just pollute it with words.
All right. There are 20 events on the list.
Oh boy.
Right.
Is that something you can just copy paste?
It's a PDF, so I don't think so. Oh, no, wait, I might be able to. Let me try. I'll make sure I'm in the right one. Yep, okay. Does this work? It did. Beautiful. Bang.
Success.
I'm
Now have
going
an
to
open
go
nose.
initially with called out a superior because that just fits straight.
I will tell you,
And
yes.
In fact, I have fucking.
So what's up now, Peter?
You're now going to be choosing 2 career events. For the stream, I'll read these off in a second, but I need to go back and do something, actually. I need to choose whether I'm a veteran. I'm just saying that I'm an experienced officer, just to make things easier.
I'm actually tied between. Hang on a second. Required to take command. Not saying a Starfleet, but maybe like a hauler or something.
Well, no, this is stuff that happened to you after you graduated from Starfleet.
Okay.
After you graduated from the academy.
After graduation, okay then. Well, okay.
I mean, you might have been required to take command. Things could have gone really fucking bad.
I might have been playing STO.
Exactly. Except that you're not being bumped up to captain.
For
It's
my
like, congratulations for taking over. Now get back to your post. Aww.
Yeah.
Ooh, I know what I want.
what?
Special commendation and ship destroyed. The
Yep.
dude's a bad luck. The dude's bad luck, which is why he's been sent off to Starfleet. Every ship he's been on has been destroyed. But he's damn good at his job, so they can't just
Wait,
fire
wait,
him,
wait,
and
wait,
he doesn't
wait,
want to
wait.
retire.
It's not his
Our
fault.
plan is let's just send them over to Starfleet, blow up their ships.
It's not his fault that
Yes.
he's a common denominator.
Yes, he's a bit of a grim reaper.
He's the common
Oh,
det-
that's great.
He's the common detonator. That's what you call it.
Peter, what's mentored?
You have a mentor.
You had an officer who took a particular personal interest in you at some point, basically. Superior officer.
Does that mean that you've toured with men, which is admirable, but has nothing to do with
All right.
what mentoring is?
So I'm going to read these off for the stream, and such. So the options are: ship destroyed, death of a friend, lauded by another culture, negotiate a treaty, required to take command, encounter with a truly alien being, serious injury, conflict with a hostile culture, mentored, transporter accident, dealing with a plague, betrayed ideals for a superior, called out a superior, new battle strategy, learns unique language, discovers an artifact, special commendation, solved an engineering crisis, breakthrough or invention, or first contact.
Ooh, I'm gonna go with new battle strategy.
Okay, so you can.
I'm definitely going to take negotiate a treaty.
Okay.
I would like to ask what the mechanical results of mentored and first contact are, because I'm a little torn.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I'll go with new battle strategy because that's where "but did you die" comes from.
I like it. All right, cool. All right, so we'll start with let's start with okay. So yeah, I'll read off what mentored and first contact are, and then we'll go through these. All right, so mentored is a highly respected officer took notice of the character's career. For a time, the character served as the officer's pilot and aide, getting the benefit of the officer's experiences and lessons. Attribute: you get +1 to any one attribute, and increase your con by 1, and then you gain a focus reflecting the lessons you learned.
Okay.
First contact. Obviously, you were chosen to be involved in one of the most important of Starfleet's missions, first contact with another culture. The prestige and honor of being involved in first contact mission is significant. Increase your presence by 1, and you get +1 to any one discipline, and gain a focus reflecting the result of the nature of the mission.
Okay. How about this one, Peter?
Mm-hmm.
Learns unique language.
All right. So, you encounter species with an unusual form of communication and learns to communicate with them. This did not happen in an episode.
No, not at all.
Darmok and Jalad Tanagra, yes. But at any rate, yes, you get +1 to insight from learning a lot about understanding others from the experience.
Mm-hmm.
You gain new knowledge and new understanding, increasing science by 1.
Okay, now is that capped by my?
Just up it right now, Skitch.
Yeah.
We'll come back to bring you back to your appropriate maxima later.
And then we got to focus,
a focus of your choice that reflects the experience.
Yeah, I read linguistics, but what else could this be here?
I mean, things that, like cultural studies, negotiations, anthropology.
Incidentally, negotiate a treaty and first contact are going to be the ones I'm going to have.
Okay, you want negotiate a treaty. I'll get to that.
Mm-hmm.
Negotiate a treaty is... What number is that one?
Number 4.
Number 4, thank you. All right. So you're part of the delegation that helped negotiate a treaty, etc. Plus, what the character's familiarity with the minutiae and careful look of diplomacy increases your control by 1. You're familiar with diplomacy and negotiation increases your command by 1. You gain a
That would
focus.
put me at command 6.
Don't worry about that. Just bump it to 6 for now. We'll adjust
All right.
later.
Okay, let's see here. Called out a superior.
I think Gav was taking that one too.
Oh, shit. Okay, then let's go play this right here.
Were you taking that one, Gav?
Yes.
Okay.
I have literally walked out of a job for that exact reason. I am definitely taking that one.
All right, word. Negotiate a treaty. Okay, so yeah, your focus. You pick a focus that reflects it. Examples include diplomacy, negotiation, or galactic politics.
Negotiation was one of the things that you mentioned before, so I'm just going to throw that in there.
Okay.
And then the other one was first contact. I'll put galactic politics in there for that one.
Sure, fine.
What about
All right.
Also, I took my put anything in discipline point and I threw it into medicine.
Okay.
I'm good at command and I am a 2 in everything else. That's my goal.
Let's go with new battle. Let's see what new battle strategy does.
That was the other one Gav was doing. But yeah, it's okay if you both people have the same ones.
I want to go for. I want to be different. I need to be novel here.
All right, so let me draft the ones for Gav while you think, Skitch. All right, Gav, you wanted call out a superior new battle strategy?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
You coward, do this!
All right, so your character's placed in a situation where they had to choose between a trusted superior and their own ideals, and you chose to follow your ideals. You learn to evaluate situations based on their own merit rather than blindly trusting others, increasing reason by 1.
Ooh.
The legal proceedings that followed gave the character greater insight into Starfleet protocol, increasing con by 1.
Increasing disconnect by 1, apparently, too.
Oh,
Yeah, looks
Gav-
like we lost Gav there.
Oh dear, Gav exploded. All right.
I guess that superior officer got him back.
In that case, I'll read off Eric's that he picked already.
Yes.
All right, your ship was destroyed. How many survivors were there, etc. Okay. Your resolve and competence in a crisis increases your daring by 1.
Okay.
Your expertise on a perilous situation increases your security by 1.
I'm really good at punching the fuck out of things.
Yeah. Also using, yeah.
I'm really good at talking and shooting gun. It's like I'm playing my Fallout characters right now.
All right. And a focus should reflect your experiences. Some examples are extravehicular operations, small craft, or survival. But other things are possible too, obviously.
It's a good focus for that. The Devil's Luck. Could that work? Okay. I guess his con sucks balls at 2.
Mine's still at 1. I don't do machine. My con and engineering are 1.
I mean, I could throw solve an
Number
engineering
1, how do you
crisis in
set
there,
this
Peter.
VCR?
I could be solve an engineering crisis, and I could add MacGyvering as a focus.
Sure, that's actually valid.
Solve an engineering crisis could be. I'm going to assume it's either reason or insight up by 1, engineering up by 1 or something like that, or what?
Let me find it.
Eric, maybe as a focus for that you could put under pressure.
Would that work?
A
That seems more like a...
value, really.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Skitch.
Yeah, go ahead.
Solve an engineering crisis is control by 1, engineering by 1.
And then no focus.
And a focus. These all give you +1 stat, +1 discipline, and a focus.
I'll take small craft.
Okay.
Yeah. So now my control is 10, my engineering is 3, and my new focus is, in quote, MacGyvering,
Sure.
which plays well with puzzles as well.
Yep.
It does.
All right.
Your character just like goes to like the old world software repository all the time and just beats the shit out of everything that LucasArts ever made.
Listen,
right.
there's three universal languages: music, math, and duct tape. Okay.
All right. Special commendation, Eric. During a crisis, you saved the lives of several colleagues, helping them to safety. This earned a character special commendation. Up your fitness by 1, and choose a discipline to up by 1 of your choice.
All he was talking about is con sucking.
There we go.
Gav's back.
Yeah, let's bring my con up to 3.
Okay. And at a focus reflecting the event and its aftermath.
Already have hand to hand because I was thinking Order of the Batleth.
Oh, you could throw like survival or athletics, maybe.
We'll throw survival in there.
Okay.
That makes sense given what your thing is talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Called out a superior, Gav.
Yes.
All right. All right. So you increase your reason by 1 and your con by 1.
Okay. Con is not great. I know it's going to get nerfed down.
Yep.
Okay.
It'll get nerfed down, but then you can redistribute it however, so whatever.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Legal proceedings that followed gave the character a greater insight into Starfleet protocol, increasing con by 1. So yeah. There were legal proceedings afterwards, Gav.
So when you say, hang on, is that con by 1 again, or just con by 1?
No, not again. That was just me reading the.
Reason and con plus 1, and then focus reflecting this.
Reflecting it. Some possible examples are Uniform Code of Justice, History, or Starfleet Protocol.
Go with Starfleet Protocol.
Okay.
I should probably pick that up at some point. Otherwise, I'm like a very diplomatic Kirk.
So basically, all these focuses that we're picking up, is that just a case of when we do something in relation to that, we get bonuses?
Effectively, yes. It increases
More
the
or
crit
less,
range
yeah.
on the die, basically. All right. And the other one was new battle strategy, Gav?
Yep.
All right. In combat with a hostile force, a character devised a new strategy or tactic. Your creativity under pressure shows boldness and ingenuity, increasing daring by 1. Your combat expertise increased your security by 1.
Okay.
Another focus reflecting your decisive battlefield leadership. Examples include combat tactics, hazard awareness, or lead by example. These are examples, obviously.
Go with hazard awareness.
Okay.
Ooh. I'm changing survival to lead by example.
Okay, great. That works. All right, Skitch, have you chosen... Did you choose a second event?
Yeah, I chose both of them.
Or what were they?
Learns unique language and then solves engineering crisis.
Oh, and we've dealt with both those, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we've all dealt with both your events, and you've got your bonuses for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
Excellent.
Plus one, my plus
and we'll
ones
change small
for presence and science for unique language, plus 1 for control and engineering for engineering crisis, and I picked up negotiation as my focus from the unique language, and MacGyvering as my focus for the
engineering crisis. Got it.
engineering crisis.
Yep.
All right, step 7, finishing touches. You receive 1 final value. This might reflect the career events rolled in step 6, or it might represent some other element of the character. But we'll get back to that after we deal with stats.
Yeah.
A character may not have any attribute above 12 unless you have untapped potential, in which case you may not have any attributes above 11.
Uh-huh.
For any attribute which has a rating above or beyond these limits, reduce it until it is within this limit.
Okay. Down
Additionally,
one under control.
You may only have one attribute at max.
Okay, so I got insight and reason both at 11, so one of those needs to be reduced.
Yes.
Insight, you're going to go down to 10, and I take that 1 point and distribute it somewhere else.
Yep.
All right, daring, you're going up by 1. Fitness is dumped.
None of
Yo,
my attributes are being redistributed, and that makes me sad because I want my insight to be higher than 9.
We're not done yet.
Yeah, I'm putting my insight up to 9.
All right.
Right.
Next, after you've done the adjustments for being above max, you get 2 more attribute points to assign where you want, no more than 1 to at one at a time. Again, +1 to 2 different stats.
Right. Okay. In that case, insight and reason. I have no presence whatsoever. Well,
That's okay. I just upped my insight to 8.
I have no fitness. It's still at 7.
yeah, my fitness is at 8 and my presence is at 7.
Now, presence 9 or control 9? That's the question. Or presence 10 or control 10? That's the question.
so my control is 10, my daring is 9, fitness and presence are 8, insight 10, reason 11.
I have 11 control, 7 fitness, 11 presence, 8 daring, 10 insight, 9 reason.
All right. Next step,
I
disciplines.
bring my daring up to 11. Yeah, daring up to 11.
Okay.
Might as well be good at that, at particular things.
All
So
right.
yeah, control 9, daring 11, fitness 12, insight 8, presence 9, reason 7.
All right. We're on to
Wait, you're a
disciplines.
security officer that doesn't see reason.
It's a Klingon.
Oh, well.
All right.
Trust your
Disciplines.
gut!
We're on to disciplines.
Oh, holy shit. Value, trust your gut.
There you go.
There you are.
Nice. All right. Disciplines. Unless you have the untapped potential, you may not have more than 1 discipline at 5, and nothing above 5, obviously. If you untapped potential, that's 4. Take those points, distribute them amongst your other stats.
Oh, my con's gone from 6 to 4.
So my science now is a 4. I have to distribute it somewhere else. And only 1 can be maximum, I take it?
Correct.
Okay,
I
so...
only have 1 at maximum, and everything else is a 2 or a 1.
Yeah, into security and engineering. Fuck science, fuck medicine, I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm adding it to security. So now I have my command is 1, security, con, and medicine are 2, engineering 3, science 4. Sounds
All right.
about right.
So we get more disciplines to distribute? Did I miss that?
You will be.
Okay.
They had the Gavin's.
Right, they had to redistribute because
Right.
they were over maximums.
Right. All right. Now you get 2 more points to distribute amongst your disciplines.
Okay.
Engineering
Is-
2, medicine 3.
I was gonna say, does the same thing count about we can't have more than 1 at maximum
Correct.
capacity? Right, okay.
Yeah. So now, so effectively, for young people, you should have 1 4, 2 3s, 3 2s, or 3 3s, a 2 and a 1.
I have command 3, security 3, engineering 3, con 4, science 2, medicine 1.
Yeah, I got command 2,
All
con
right.
2,
Yep.
medicine 2. Yep.
Yes.
I've got command 4, con 3, security 5, engineering 2, and science and medicine are at 1.
I have command 5, security, science, con, and engineering are 2, and medicine is 3.
All right. Another important note. If you'd like to do a math check here, you can do so. Your total attributes should add up to 56.
Yeah.
And your total discipline should add up to 16, I believe.
I have 16 in disciplines.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. That is 30, I think.
Oh, here we go again. My attribute's currently at 55.
Add a point somewhere. Don't just add a point somewhere. Don't break the maxima.
Yes, 56 attributes and 16 disciplines.
I'll just double check it. Hang on a second. So 17. 21. Plus 8. Yeah, insight to 10. Okay.
All right.
Wow. Daring, insight, and reason all at 10. And what did you say it should be for discipline, sorry?
16.
Yeah, that one's right.
Okay, great. Now we're going to go on to talents.
Okay.
All right, you will have a total of 4 talents.
Mm-hmm. We have 2 so far, and we'll get 2 more.
Lead guitar, bass, drums, vocals.
Well, I've got the most presence, so I'm on vocals.
Oh.
I got the best fitness, so I guess I'm drums.
I have the most reason, therefore I'm the label with the 360 deal, and I take all your money. So,
Well,
All right.
cheap enough for Rengi.
Now, hang on. I have negotiation. We're going to have words about this.
yeah, you have words. I have leverage.
Insight. Your contract is bogus.
Hey, my insight is pretty darn good too.
Okay. So,
Darren,
first off,
I invest all my money in Bitcoin.
all right. So, the talents are broken up generally in the following categories. They're the species ones, which we went over before, what race of species you are. You can still take more of those if you like.
I haven't taken any of those yet, so...
Right. There are some generic ones, and then there are ones tied to each of the disciplines.
Okay.
So the generic ones are bold, which is basically you choose a single discipline when you select this talent. Whenever you attempt to task the discipline and you buy 1 or more d20s, by adding to threat, you may reroll a single d20. You can buy it multiple times, once for each discipline. Cautious is exactly like bold, except when you spend momentum, you cannot be both cautious and bold on the same discipline. For what I like to call obvious reasons. Collaboration. You must choose a single discipline when you select this talent. Whenever an ally attempts a task using that discipline, you may spend a momentum to allow them to use your score for that discipline and one of your focuses. Constantly watching. When you attempt a task to detect danger or hidden enemies, reduce the difficulty by 1.
Ooh, I like that.
That's a good one.
Dauntless. Whenever you attempt a task to resist being intimidated or threatened, you may add a bonus d20 to your pool.
That's also a good one.
I'm taking that.
Okay?
What was that again?
Dauntless. Dauntless. Personal effects. This allows you to possess some significant uncommon item or device that is not part of Starfleet's standard issue.
Well, I have to take that to get my Batleth.
Yeah.
Look, man. Okay, listen. I know that BB guns are not standard issue, but you never know.
It's an antique!
Never know what'll be useful.
So that means you can have it without actually having to pay momentum. Normally, if you wanted to bring it, you could say during an adventure, Eric, to bring a
Right.
Batleth with you in a situation. But to do so, you'd have to pay a momentum and give me a threat.
Right.
In this case, since you have it as your personal effect, no. You just have your Batleth.
I just always have a Batleth.
Right. Studious. Whenever you spend 1 momentum to obtain information, you may ask 1 additional question in total, not per momentum spent on obtaining information.
Judius, huh?
Studious, yes. That would be a good one for you, Skitch.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Before you continue, for the record, we should have a total of 3 talents at the end of this, right?
A total of 4 at the end.
4.
Total
We're
of
picking
4.
2.
Okay.
Is that including untapped potential?
Yes.
Yes, that includes untapped potential. That is one of your talents.
So I should have 4 by the end of this.
Yes. The next one is technical expertise. Whenever you attempt a task assisted by ship's computers or sensors, you may reroll 1d20, which may be the ship's die. Because the ship can assist you with various task checks when you're on the ship.
What was the name of that one again?
Technical expertise.
I'm gonna put that at the bottom of my list just so I don't forget it.
Okay.
I might take that. I might
Yeah,
not.
that's one of those that I'm putting to one side just in case.
Yeah.
Tough. Whenever you avoid an injury, the cost is reduced by 1 to a minimum of 1.
I should take tough and sturdy.
Possible.
You're a tank.
You're stuff, man.
There's a reason you survived all this bullshit.
Yes.
All right, we're on to the stuff that requires command.
Cautious was mentioned as being opposing to bold. Is that not on the general list, or
It's on
did
the
I just
general
miss
list.
you describe it?
They're both general.
Could you go over that, because I missed it then?
Okay, it is exactly the same as bold in that except that when you're spending, it's not when you're giving the GM threat to get bonus d20s. It's when you're when you're spending momentum. So you pick a discipline when you choose the talent, and when you buy one or more d20s by spending momentum, you may re-roll a single d20.
Right. Yeah, I'm going to take cautious.
Okay. For what discipline are you picking cautious for?
Command.
Okay, so you are cautious on command. Got it.
I have my rank for a reason.
Okay. All right. So the talents that are command specific. Advisor requires command 2. Whenever you assist another character using your command discipline, the character being assisted may reroll 1d20. Diffuse the tension requires command 3. Whenever you attempt a task to persuade someone not to resort to violence, you may add a bonus d20 to your die pool.
That wouldn't be bad for Eric, actually, as security. You don't always, like you said, you've said it yourself.
Violence is always an answer, but not always the
an
answer.
answer, but not the answer. Yeah.
Right.
Follow my lead requires command 3. Once per scene, when you succeeded a task used during combat or other perilous situation, you may spend 1 determination. If you do, choose a single ally. The next task that ally attempts counts as you as having assistance from you, using your presence plus command. Supervisor. The ship's crew support increases by 1. The ship stuff is what I'm not most familiar with yet.
Okay.
This is the requirement for this is being a main character. It's cumulative if multiple main characters or groups select it, but each main character may only select it once. So those are the command ones. We're on to con. Flyby, con 2+. Whenever you use the swift task momentum spend, you may do not increase the difficulty of the second task if one of the tasks you attempt is to pilot a vessel or vehicle. Normally during combat situations, you get one task and one minor action. You can spend momentum to get for a swift task to get an additional task, but it's hard. It becomes harder. This ability allows you to do that without it actually becoming harder.
Right.
Precise evasion requires con 4. Whenever you succeed at the evasive action task, you may spend 2 momentum. If you do, the ship does not suffer this increased difficulty for attacks normally caused by evasive action.
I like that.
Okay.
Okay, I'm taking precise evasion.
All right.
Okay.
Push the limits. Con 4+. When you attempt a con task that has increased difficulty due to environmental conditions or damage to the engines, reduce the difficulty by 1 to a minimum of 1. Starship Expert, con 3+. Whenever you succeed at a con check task to identify a type of starship or to try and understand an unknown form of starship, you gain 1 bonus momentum, which may only be used on the obtain information momentum spend, or to pay the cost of the create advantage momentum spend, where the advantage must represent some sort of known or observed weakness in the ship being studied.
So, I guess that's more of a tactical thing, isn't it? It's like, that's a completely unknown vessel. Can you tell where it's shooting from?
Yeah, things like that. Yeah. But I mean, yeah. Technically speaking.
I'll put Push the Limit and Starship Expert in my maybe list, because obviously I do qualify for other ones as we go down as well.
Yep. That is a good thing to do. Yes. Yeah. Okay, we're on to security.
Precise evasion.
Security talents. When you make a successful attack, this requires security 4, by the way.
Right.
Close protection. When you make a successful attack, you may spend 1 momentum to protect a single ally within close range. The next attack against that ally before the start of your next turn increases in difficulty by 1.
Ooh. What is that called again?
Close protection.
Goes in the maybe list.
As someone with fitness 7, I would approve of this. Protect the captain.
Interrogation. When you succeed at a task to coerce someone to reveal information in social conflict, you will gain 1 bonus momentum, which may only be spent on the obtained information momentum spend.
What's
Eric
the
wants the
prereq for
next
that
one.
one?
I'm also going to put that in my maybe pile.
What was that
What's
word?
the prereq for that one?
Security 3.
Damn it. All right.
Mean right hook. Requirement none. Your unarmed strike attack gains the vicious 1 damage effect.
That also goes in the maybe pile.
Pack tactics. Whenever you assist another character during combat, the character you assisted gains 1 bonus momentum if they succeed. And the last one, that also, both, by the way, Mean Right Hook and Pack Tactics do have no requirements.
Okay.
Quick to action, Security 3+. During the first round of any combat, you and your allies may ignore the normal cost to retain the initiative.
Ooh.
I will explain what that means now.
I like
So,
that too.
Here's how initiative works in combat. The first character to act is chosen by me, the game master. Now, I choose it based on who is the most logical person to go first in the fight, given the scenario. After that, it alternates between sides. So, if say Eric went first, logically Eric would go first, so he'd go first. Then it alternates back and forth. However, the players may spend 2 momentum once per round to keep the initiative and act again.
Okay, so like say I went, then we could
basically
do initiative and have word go.
Yes.
Kind of deal.
Yeah. Once per fight, we could double turn.
Once per round.
Once per round. Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Additionally, as a note,
during the first round, yeah.
the Game Master characters may do the same thing by spending threat. But this means that you can do it for free once per combat.
Well, it literally says during the first
first
round
round,
of combat,
yes.
so we can literally just turn around and say, fuck you!
Yes.
Double team.
That is quick to action. All right, engineering talents. Oh, yeah, by the way, quick to action requires security 3. And quick to action is amazing.
I'm taking
Yeah, I think that's on my maybe pile.
All right, engineering. A little more
before
power.
you started engineering,
Yep.
going back to the command ones, what was the one that required 2 and was if you give an order, you contribute momentum or whatever?
Command 2. Do you mean advisor or follow my lead? No, yeah, advisor.
I think it's advisor.
Whenever you assist another character using your command discipline, the character being assisted may reroll a d20.
Ah, that goes on my maybe pile.
It's a good one.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Engineering. A little more power. Engineering 3. Whenever you succeed in an engineering task aboard your own ship, you may spend 1 momentum to regain 1 spent power. Your ship has a pool of excess power that you can use to do various stuff with. And you spend it, and then this is one way to get some power back. Engineering 4+. I know my ship. Whenever you attempt a task to determine a source of a technical problem with your ship, add 1 bonus d20. In the nick of time, Engineering 3 or Science 3, because this shows up on both lists. Whenever you succeed in an engineering or science task, as part of an extended task, you scored 1 additional work for every effect rolled. So this means that you get extended tasks done more quickly, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Intense scrutiny. Whenever you succeed at a task using reason or control as part of an extended task, you may ignore up to 2 resistance for every effect rolled. Basically, resistance means that on an extended task, it reduces the amount of work you generate when you're rolling the dice by the resistance number. And intense scrutiny means that you get to ignore 2 resistance for every effect you roll on the dice. And jury rig, engineering 4+. Whenever you attempt an engineering task to perform repairs, you may reduce the difficulty by 2 to a minimum of 0. If you do this, however, the repairs are only temporary and will only last a single scene plus 1 additional scene per momentum spent before they fail again.
I can't qualify for that because my engineering's only 3.
Nope, that is a chief engineer ability.
The Tellurian engineer I made has that. He's all about jury rigging shit together.
All right. Science talents. Science 2+. Whenever you attempt a task that involves programming or study of a computer system, you may add a bonus d20 to your pool. That's computer expertise. I've already listed off in the nick of time and intense scrutiny. Testing a theory. This requires sciences too. When you attempt a task using engineering or science, so engineers can get this too technically, you may roll one additional d20 as long as you succeeded at a previous task covering the same scientific or technological field earlier in the same adventure.
Pretty good.
That seems neat.
What we got next?
So that's it for the sciences.
Well, there's no sciences that are 4?
No, actually.
Oh,
There's no con on it. There's no con on a 4 either.
Shit, man. I'm trying to think which science or engineering one would be best for this.
Yeah,
game.
I decided to go with quick to action. That's just too useful.
I think testing a theory works well, though.
Yeah, testing a theory, I think it makes sense for your character too.
Well, because what's nice about it is that it means, like, if you engage in something early in an adventure, then later on it's like, wait a minute.
Yep.
I might be onto something. So when I shot him in the left foot, he fell to the right. So if I shoot him in the right foot, there we go.
And the medical talents.
Checkmate.
Medicine 4+, doctor's orders. When you attempt a task to coordinate others or coerce someone into taking or refraining from the specific course of action, you may use your medicine discipline instead of command.
That's the damn it, Jim, I'm a doctor.
That is the bones one, yes.
The bones maneuver.
Yeah.
Damn it, Jim, I'm a doctor. Not a... Oh, well,
Yeah,
yes.
doctor. Anyway, field medicine. Requirement none. When attempting the medicine task, you may ignore any increase in difficulty for working without the proper tools or equipment.
What was that called? Field medicine?
Yep.
Maybe list.
First response. Medicine 3. Whenever you attempt a first aid task during combat, you gain a bonus d20. Further, you may always succeed at cost, with each complication you suffer adding +1 to the difficulty of healing the patient's injury subsequently. Quick study, Medicine 3. When attempting a task that will involve an unfamiliar medical procedure, or which is to treat an unfamiliar species, ignore any difficulty increase stemming from your unfamiliarity. Triage, Medicine 3+. When you attempt a task to identify specific injuries or illnesses, or to determine the severity of a patient's condition, you may spend 1 momentum, repeatable, to diagnose 1 additional patient. And I've listed all the talents in the book, other than the ones that are species-specific.
What was push the limit again? got hung
That's
up
a
on-
con one, right?
I think that was the one where you got to ignore the difficulty for being in a rough atmosphere or having damaged engines.
Yes.
Yeah. So you would, that is the con 4 one, Gav. When you attempt a con task that has increased in difficulty due to environmental conditions or damage to the engines, reduce the difficulty by 1 to a minimum of 1.
Deal. I was going to go with Starship Expert, but that can be handled by Tactical.
I've decided to stick with Advisor. That way I can just be an enabler. I'm just lazy lord over here.
All right. So does everybody have 4 talents now?
Yes.
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 Honorable, Dauntless, Cautious Command, and Advisor.
Sturdy, veteran, personal effects, Batleth, quick to action.
Untap potential, precise evasion, quick to action, and push the limit.
Skitch? Are you at 4?
Is Skitch dead?
No, he's there. He might be away from his computer.
Incidentally, I came up with my 4th value. A healing hand carries the most weight.
Okay.
Mm.
My first focus is philosophy.
Yeah.
Should
So
we
I
have
put
4
on- so I-
values by now?
Yes.
You should have 4 values by now. Yes.
Oh, I've only got 3. Where
Yeah,
did the
you-
4th one come from?
You get one in step 7.
Oh,
When we're doing the wrap up stuff.
That's why all of my values, other than Proud Daughter of Andoria, are philosophical sounding.
A philosophical Andorian. Will wonders never cease.
There's a reason I'm running this ship. They're impressed.
I'm kind of like an angrier Uncle Iroh, I think. Because all mine are like, conflict breeds excellence. Violence is always an answer, but not always the answer. Rare old men and careers where people die young. Trust your gut.
All right. Overshoot? I think I overshot. Yes, I did. Okay.
I'm going to reword my second one just to make it sound more philosophical, but it's basically going to be the same thing.
All right. Last but not least, the number of stress boxes you get. This is equal to your
here's where it gets bad for me.
fitness plus security.
So 17, you say?
Okay, so my last
9.
Loyalty on principle is meaning. No, that's. Can you help me reword this? Basically, it's blind loyalty is pointless. So I've put loyalty on principle is meaningless, but it's not principle. That's not the word I'm thinking.
You could just say blind loyalty is meaningless.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
The one that I reworded is similar to that. Foolish is the thoughtless patriot.
Blind loyalty is the best loyalty. Wait, no.
Skitch, you have 4 values right now, yes?
I have to write my fourth one still.
And do you have all 4 talents?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, good.
Spirit of discovery, untapped potential, studious, and testing a theory.
Okay, great. Right, you took studious because studious is amazing for science officers.
Because the extra question, I guess, is actually a relevant mechanical thing.
Yes. So let me explain how. So when you're trying to gain information,
I ask you questions.
right? So I will basically you'd make your initial roll. I give you basic information. You can spend momentum to ask me additional questions
But this allows me to get an extra question
for the
when I
first
spend
momentum, on the first momentum spent. Yes.
Right. So it saves a lot of momentum.
It's really good.
Unless I craftily waste the questions, then it's not broken. Oh, geez. I have to say, by the way, I'm currently set up in a very jury-rigged manner. I pulled 3 end tables around this bed I'm on to have a table for the microphone, a table for the laptop, a table for the power strip, and the rig to charge my iPad and such. So all this thing's like rigged up, and the biggest problem I ran into was the fact that the power strip is one of those ones where it only enables certain ports if the master port is receiving a signal from a TV or something. So I'm like, shit, I don't have a TV to plug into. This only has 3 valid ports on it.
No. All right. So
my last value has got to be something. Studious, testing a theory kind of plays into that. It's like, it's like one bright idea deserves another. Trying to think here.
Cleverness is its own reward?
Nah, I'm trying to think of some other one that's a little bit more. I'm not saying not necessarily cocksure, but like his other values so far: always ready for the next unknown, strive for peace, prepare for conflict. With no knowledge of the limits, I don't even know my own potential.
Just try it.
Kick logic out and do the impossible. That's how Team Gurren rolls.
I kind of like just try it as a contrast to you didn't die.
But did you die? Right.
But did you die? Yeah.
did you die?
Everything can be fixed eventually.
There's no point being afraid of risk if you never actually take any.
Yeah. Oh, Skitch, you might have been here. You should have a total of your total stress boxes you have available is equal to your fitness plus your security.
Oh, I missed
Oh
it.
shit!
Fitness and security.
That's 11.
I'm a wimp.
How many do you have, Wind?
I have 9. The lowest you could possibly have is 8, and I only don't have that because I happen to put a point in security.
So do we have to grey out the other ones?
Yeah, just grey out the ones that you don't have. That's an easy way to do
I've
it.
got 17.
I'm shocked, Eric.
I've never actually done that on this. How do you grey out a box?
There is a
Paint bucket, a fill tool.
fill color paint bucket thing.
Ah,
Or you can mark it with X's or what have you. I mean,
I marked it with X's.
yeah. And then lastly,
There's a difference between being smart and being a smart ass.
You can either be smart or be a smart ass. Choose wisely.
all right. Last but not least, you need to fill out is what equipment you start with that you basically assume to have.
A banjo.
Your uniform. These are things you automatically get. You get your uniform. You get a communicator. You get a tricorder. And you get a sidearm.
What's that third one there?
The tricorder?
tricorder.
Okay, tricorder. Yeah.
The doohickey that tells you things.
It goes bing.
Uniform,
when this-
tricorder, communicator.
And
It's
sidearm.
sidearm.
I imagine the sidearm should go in weapons as opposed to other
Yes.
equipment.
I'm getting to that in a second.
Okay.
I'm going to say this, Eric. Sadly for you, you do not get to bring your disruptor pistol with you from the
Boo! Boo!
Boo! I say boo!
they're not legal in the Federation, Eric.
But they're so cool looking.
I'll show you not legal.
Can I just check? Has there been a calculation for determination, or did I miss that?
You start with 1 point.
Okay, that's fine.
You'll get your disruptor back when your exchange program's over, Eric.
Want my disruptor?
No, Azul, there are no pockets in space. There are only belt clips.
All right. So for weapons, things you will write down. So your choice of the standard issue weapons that you have available to you. Well, technically speaking, pretty much Phaser Type 1 or Phaser Type 2.
Right.
What's the difference?
The Phaser Type 1 is the small sort of one that looks like almost like a garage door opener. The really tiny one.
Right.
That's the concealable one, basically.
That's the sidearm. The other one is like the actual.
No, the
rifle
Phaser 2 is the
one.
pistol. Is the actual pistol.
Oh, okay.
The phaser 2 is when it is with the little like the Wiimote grip for the little pistol, basically for the little phaser.
Basically, the Phaser Type is an actual like borderline pistol, basically. It looks.
I was gonna say, is this?
It's the one that looks kind of like a dustbuster.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, set your phasers to pun. No.
Is there a difference between them mechanically?
Yes, there are. The Phaser Type 1 does less damage, but has the hidden 1 trait. So it's easier to conceal. All right, so what you should note down, if you've got a Phaser Type 1, the damage rating is... Okay, so you note down the weapon. In the damage place, the damage will be the damage rating I list off plus your security.
Huh.
So, Phaser Type 1 is damage 2, and it has the qualities Charge and Hidden 1. The Phaser Type 2 is 3 damage and has the quality Charge. They're both one-handed weapons.
Can you make sneak attacks in this?
Kinda.
Because I'm realizing that anything I shoot is not going to be particularly hurt.
It's okay. You've got me around for that.
Just to ask Peter, because I can see the weapons table there. Obviously, those ones we can have because they're standard issue. Does that also apply to the phase pistol and the particle rifle?
Those are not. Those are not. I don't know.
Okay.
I think the phase pistols from Enterprise.
I will say this. Honestly, the phase pistol is just inferior to the phaser Type 2.
Right. So it's different generational weaponry.
Yeah, those are the Enterprise arrow weapons. And the particle rifle is the phaser Type 3, but less good.
Yeah.
But you could actually those are not sidearms though, Gav, is the thing.
Right. Yeah, I'm just gonna take the Type 1. I'm
Oh,
a
it's not
talker.
Type-
I want my weapon hidden.
And Eric, you get your Batleth,
Hooray!
which is a heavy blade. Base damage is 3.
Plus my security? Or
Yep.
plus my fitness?
Security.
Okay, so also 8 damage.
It's a two-handed weapon, and it has vicious 1.
I do no fucking damage.
I was gonna say, do we get any modifier to the base damage for the phaser, or is it just that's it?
You add your
It's
security.
weapon plus
security rating.
security.
Weapon plus security.
Sorry?
Damage plus. Yep.
Oh, so plus security.
All right.
I-
I think I might have to bail out for the night.
Okay, that's
All right,
fine.
we're pretty much
So-
done anyway.
Yep,
so-
we're done now. So
Take it easy, Skitch.
bye, Skitch.
Later, dude.
But yeah, oh yeah, and technically speaking, if you want to write down your unarmed strike, its damage rating is 1 and is knockdown and non-lethal.
Right. So 1 plus your security, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is if you want to punch someone or kick someone.
Yay!
You are the weediest Endorian word.
I
You
am.
really are.
I'm going to go with the idea that her medicine is so high and her physical scores are so low, and she has that particular philosophy was because she was sick for a lot of her early life, so she got really good at talking and not very good at fighting.
That's fine.
Not to mention, parents are diplomats and shit.
Yeah.
It was not something that was encouraged in the household, and I put my talents elsewhere.
Yep. So yeah, that is making characters in Star Trek Adventures. I really do like the system for creating characters, honestly.
Mm.
So I'm going to end the recording here for the YouTube peoples. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.